call starting from my right.
Weisinger here.
Gabriel here.
Janzak here.
Dilge here.
Marty here.
Dalton here.
Capital here.
And also we have our zoning administrator, Lexi Dargowitz, and our town attorney, Nicholas Flanagan. And Taylor Ochinsky is here. She'll be joining us in a little bit, our support specialist. Can you certify the posting of the meeting, please?
Of course. I certify that on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024, the agenda for the Town of Rome Plan Commission meeting for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024 was posted at the following locations: Rome Town Hall, 1:13 p.m., Quick Trip LLC, 1:20 p.m., Nakusa Fort Edward State Bank, 1:26 p.m., posted on the Town of Rome website on 9/3/2024, and legal notice published in the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune on 8/27/2024 and 9/3/2024.
Thank you. Can we verify that the microphone is turned on at the speaker, please? The podium? Thank you. I would like a motion to approve the agenda.
So
Your
moved.
motion.
Okay, moved by Lori, seconded by Bill to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Citizen comments. Do we have comment cards?
We received 2 citizen comments.
Okay. During the citizen comment period of the agenda, the Plan Commission welcomes comments from any town resident, not a member of the Plan Commission, on any item not on the agenda. Please know that pursuant to state law, the Commission cannot engage in conversation with you, but may ask questions. The Commission may refer the item to staff, a standing committee, or a future Commission agenda for discussion and action. Each person wishing to speak will have up to 3 minutes to speak. Speakers are asked to submit a card to the Commission chair providing their name, address, and topic for discussion. The Commission will also take comment from the public on agenda items as called by the chair, but not during citizen comment. Please note that once the Commission begins discussion on an agenda item, no further comment will be allowed from the public on that issue. Is there anyone here to speak on the comment cards that we've received?
Don't know what they are.
You have them in your
Oh, those two? Okay.
Would you like to give a synopsis of just a very brief, hopefully one sentence kind of a synopsis on each of the comment cards?
One was for, I guess, getting clarification between a normal shed and portable shed, if that would be considered.
Okay.
And then the other was to potentially have a residential lighting ordinance.
Okay. And as no one is here to speak on the issue and all the commissioners have received a copy of the comment cards, I would like to just put them on record that we have them and they will be tabled.
I would like to comment that we just refer these, Lexi has gone to great lengths to already deal with these and give comments on them. We have the emails attached to those comment cards, and I would suggest that we refer them back to Lexi and have her deal with those, as town code applies, and if they're beneficial to the overall town, and have staff deal with them accordingly and bring them back if she sees fit to the Plan Commission.
Okay, I think that if we could address this when we set our next agenda items.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right. No action contemplated except possible referral to future agenda. Information updates, meetings, meeting recaps, recent correspondence, current events, and announcements. Anyone have anything?
I have nothing.
Nothing's going on?
I do.
Okay.
Tomorrow, September 11th, there's the honor climb at the Tri-Norris at 5 p.m. Anyone is welcome to join them out at the hill as they remember those who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001 by climbing the 300-plus stairs at the Tri-Norris Hill. And on October 5th, they're having the annual Chili Fest, Quilt and Craft Rummage and Bake Sale at Woodland Lutheran Church. And that is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They'll have horse cart rides, and the chili will be served until 3 p.m. All you can eat. Adults are $8, children 3 to 12 are $4, and children under 3 are free. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. All right, subcommittee, Plan Commission RTC Subcommittee update.
Yes, so the Plan Commission Rometown Center Subcommittee met on August 16th, 2024. The individuals in attendance were Land Use Specialist Sam Schultz, Developer Baker Thompson, Attorney Nicholas Flanagan, Zoning Administrator Lexi Darglitz, Plan Commission Representative Diana Dolge, Bill Capel, Lori Demology, and Community Development Authority Representative Tiffany Savecki. During this meeting, the members went over the history of the Rometown Center and the previous subcommittee, established committee objectives, and curated a list of action items. They established the next meeting will be September 20th at 11 a.m.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to now open the public hearing. And the first agenda item is consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose. The short-term rental at the property located at 147 West Walden Way, owned by Tony and Josh Wills, also described as Lot 36 of Walden Pines addition to Lake Camelot, located in the southwest 1/4, southeast 1/4, Section 3, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300657700000. Do we have anyone here?
I'm Tony.
Tony, would you like to please step
I'll
up?
give my little report first.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Just a minute. You're supposed to touch me when there's a lot of line here.
Alright, so Tony and Josh Wills have submitted a short-term rental STR license application and conditional use permit for the property located at 147 West Walden Way, requesting use for the 2024-2025 season that ends on June 30th, 2025. Letters were sent to 10 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property. The Plan Commission places conditions on CUPs issued for STRs that will set the maximum occupancy and maximum number of vehicles allowed on the property based off of the standards in Town Code Chapter 23461. Staff recommends a maximum occupancy of 4 and a maximum vehicles of 2 to be parked on hard surfaces, not on the lawn-grass at the property. The applicant has completed all license requirements, including a property manager within 25 miles on record with the town.
Okay. Now, yes, thank you. Okay.
Do I just kind of,
Yes, if you want to let us know what your plans are, what you've been doing, or what you hope to do, or just anything in general.
so it's a new build, we just want to short-term rental it according to the guidelines that the town of Rome has. We have a representative within 25 miles. Do you need his name?
I would like to have the name if possible.
Yep. He's 1.1 miles away. His name is Michael Bray, Brey.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, we're gonna follow the guidelines of what you guys have. We're also gonna use it ourselves when, we come up, to obviously, be with family. And yeah,
Okay,
anything
so
else specific you need?
the property manager that you are going to be utilizing, he will be available 24/7.
24/7. Yep. He has access to everything. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Keys, phone numbers, everything. Yes.
All right. Do any of the commissioners have any questions? Is there anyone in the audience that I'm so sorry.
I'll make sure that, based on the drawing I saw in the file, that you understand that the maximum occupancy is 4 and
4.
2
2
vehicles.
parking spots. Yes. Yep.
Because the drawing shows 5.
5 what?
5 cars parked. I'm assuming that's what the green is.
5 cars. No, it's not that big. No, 2.
It says parking spot.
Oh, my husband. No, it's not big enough for that. It's two
That's why
can
I'm
fit.
just making sure
No,
you
thank you for it. No, 2. It's not that big of a driveway.
Okay.
Yes, we understand 4 people and 2 spots. Yes.
Is there anyone here in the audience that has any questions or would like to speak to this particular issue? Okay.
That's it.
Yep,
Thank
thank you.
you.
The second item Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose. The short-term rental at the property located at 455 Duffers Trail, owned by Dean Ramsden, DBA Sand Dunes Lodge, also described as Lot 1 of CSM 6183, located in the northeast 1/4, southwest 1/4, Section 20, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 030-02819010.
Dean Ramsden, doing business as Sand Dunes Lodge, has submitted a short-term rental STR license application and conditional use permit for the property located at 455 Duffers Trail, requesting use for the 2024-2025 season that ends on June 30th, 2025. Letters were sent to 8 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property. The Plan Commission places conditions on CUPs issued for STRs that will set the maximum occupancy and maximum number of vehicles allowed on the property based on standards found in Town Code, Chapter 23461. Staff recommends a maximum occupancy of 8 and a maximum vehicles of 4 to be parked on hard surfaces, not on the lawn or grass at the property. The applicant has completed all license requirements, including a property manager within 25 miles on record with the town.
Dean?
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Do you want me to sign in here?
Yes,
So-
please.
If you didn't over there.
No, I didn't sign over there. Okay, let me just put it. Okay, way back when you first started, I had 455 come before here. They approved it. My wife didn't want to do it after that. So we bought 1065 Kingsway. And that property, we did that for a year and a half, and that just sold. We sold it. And so now I'm coming back to this property and put Airbnb this, and I don't think we had any complaints at 1065 Kingsway.
Do any commissioners have questions?
Appears this is your private residence. What are you gonna do when it's rented out?
I own some condos in the Dells, so we'll be in the Dells.
And you have a property manager, is that?
Yes.
Okay, who are you?
Ramey Severson, I'm not sure if he's on the list there. Ramey was the guy that owned the Enchanted Shores that I owned before from him, so.
And he's 24/7?
He's 24/7.
Okay. So you, when Duffers Trail was given the CUP before,
Yes.
did you let it lapse or?
I didn't, well, it may have lapsed, but, we did not rent it out at all. So it's
Okay, so
zero.
there was more than a year of inactivity on that
Yeah,
permit?
that was, yeah, and that's been when this program first started, so, way before COVID.
June 12th of 2018.
Oh, there you go. So we have records, right?
Yeah. Okay. Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to speak on this issue or this particular one? Commissioners, any other questions? Okay. All right, Dean, thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Oh, I do have a question. There's a refuse container that you have at the bottom of the driveway.
I wonder if anybody's gonna ever ask about that.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Well, I don't know. Would it be poss-
Concrete truck, I don't want those big heavy trucks going on my concrete, cause they'll bust that up. So,
is there some way to hide it or
yeah,
put
I
it
can
in a
hide it off
fenced?
to the right.
Or
Yeah, cause there's trees that come around there, and I could probably put some posts, some 4x4s, and I wondered if I was ever gonna get questioned on that, so. You must walk by my house.
no, I actually took a picture of it earlier
Yeah,
yesterday.
All right, yeah, I can hide it.
Is he really? I think he's far enough back. Is he? Are you in the Gateway District or not?
Is he in the Gateway
No,
District?
he's further south.
Is he south of the Gateway
Yeah.
District? Okay,
I don't think you are.
but it should be enclosed because you
Yeah.
can see it.
I get it. I can do that.
You don't even not maybe studying it off, but
It's
perhaps.
just a little hard, yeah, it's just for the trucker, and they come in and they, you know. But I get it.
So that might be a condition. I don't, you know, when we get to that part.
Okay, what part is that?
Well, when we approve the
Oh, I see.
consolidated use permit,
Yeah,
putting it as a condition that,
yeah, not a problem.
okay,
I'll get it done.
okay.
I'm not gonna be able to Airbnb it till next spring anyways, so I'm just going through the process now to get it
Okay.
done, so,
All right,
yeah. Okay.
thank you. It is, you think so?
So we gotta look it up.
Do you happen to know if that property is in Gateway?
I would not right now.
Okay,
It's just north of the Arrowhead entrance.
Can we pull it up?
It's too far back. I don't think it's close enough.
yeah, it's too far south.
I think Jerry had changed it to 200 feet, so I think he's safe. Jerry had changed that, yeah.
Yep, and he is back.
So he's good.
All right. Next. Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose: the short-term rental of the property located at 965 Wellington Court, owned by Karen Saminsky and Ann E. Hubble, also described as Lot 53 of Wellington Addition to Lake Camelot, located in the southeast 1/4, northwest 1/4, section 10, town 20 north, range 6 east, town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 03006698000.
Karen Saminsky and Ann E. Hubble have submitted a short-term rental STR license application and conditional use permit for the property located at 965 Wellington Court, requesting use for the 2024-2025 season that ends on June 30th, 2025. Letters were sent to 12 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property. The Plan Commission places conditions on CUPs issued for STRs that will set maximum occupancy and maximum numbers of vehicles allowed on the property based on the standards found in Town Code Chapter 23461. Staff recommends a maximum occupancy of 8 and a maximum vehicles of 4 to be parked on hard surfaces not on the lawn or grass at the property. The applicant has completed all license requirements, including a property manager within 25 miles on record with the town.
Thank you. Is there someone here from Wellington?
Well,
Good.
I'm representing them.
Hi,
Hi.
your name and,
So my name is Tammy Esser, and I am the local operations manager, also would be the resident agent, the person that would be available 24/7 for this property. I'm here just representing the owners because they were unable to make it tonight.
so you're with Vacasa?
I am.
Okay. Any commissioners have any questions? Do you know, and I know we were given some drawings of the property, there is that room in the lower level, I think a third bedroom, and is that,
As far as I know, it was going to be used as a bedroom, but they don't have the
Egress?
windows in it right
Okay.
now. So we are not actually, I think, listing that as a bedroom.
okay.
Oh,
So the bedroom 3, I'm not sure with regard to the dimensions that were given here with regard to occupancy.
I had called them and I got told that they had got it set in place, because anywhere that has a basement they're renting, I make sure to call to see if they have stuff.
So you were told there's an egress window then down there?
I believe so, because I was told that they had it prepared to be rented.
My housekeeper that just did their house today is here. There is an egress window down there now?
Yes, there's one in the one bedroom. There's 2 bedrooms down there, or there's rooms down there that possibly could be 4 bedrooms if they put an egress window in the other room. But there is one egress window down there.
So the 4th bedroom is on the lower level as well?
That I do not know.
they were going to maybe,
Just where the bedrooms, Mom.
okay, there are 2 bedrooms down in, 2 rooms in that basement,
Okay,
okay?
one has an egress.
Yes, for sure one has. The other one, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Two, one there and one there. There's a window there and a window there.
And we took all 4 bedrooms for square footage to determine occupancy.
Yep. Yeah, they have it marked on the paper that has the grids on it that there's 2 egress windows as well. So I don't.
Safety, just making sure that nobody
Yep.
gets trapped down there
Yep.
and they die.
That's also what we took, because if you see, they have like a little black line and have an E below
Is
it.
that what the W is? With the
Right.
Yeah, it's an E. Yeah, I think it's an
Those
E.
are, so that represents
They
an
both
egress
have,
window?
they both have the egress windows.
So I have photos right here that she just took today.
Okay.
This is one bedroom down there with an egress window. This would be the other one.
Okay,
And the rec room shows that there's patio doors,
Yes.
so there's a way to exit the lower level.
okay, and I couldn't get around the other side to see. Okay. Okay, is there anyone here that has any, that would like to, yes, if you could please come up to the stand and sign your name on the sheet.
Do you first want me to say that we received 2 letters?
Sure. We did receive 2 letters of objection, and they will be part of the file.
My name's Linda Sorensen. I live across the street from this property, 964 Wellington. We were unaware, as all the neighbors were, that they were doing this until we got your letter. Of course, we have major concerns about parking, the cars, the noise, the garbage. What are our rights as neighbors when these properties happen, you know, to be short-term rentals? You know, because usually the people are there for a short time and a fun time. You know, we have a short-term rental down the street, lots of cars, but they're further down, so I don't know, you know, noise, I'm not impacted by that as this immediate house. I know the letters you probably received were from next-door neighbors. You know, these neighbors have been there since the beginning, so very, very concerned, and just thought, first of all, it would have been nice for the neighbors to let us know what they were doing, but again, that's, you know, why I'm here to find out our rights as a board. Now, I read the letter. Of course, if there's too many cars there, we're stuck until the next day when you can come and address it. And then I too understand if the police are called 3 times within a year, then their license could be revoked. Is that correct?
3 police validated reports.
So what are our rights? When we have problems there, whom do I call? Do I call you? Do I call Ann and Karen? Do I call the police? Because I'm sure there will be problems.
So you would have gotten in that envelope a packet for host compliance,
Yes.
and that would be who you're going to primarily contact if there is any issues. And how they work is they'll first contact the property owner to let them know, a property owner or manager, let them know, and then if they get another one, then it would get sent to staff here to the appropriate department depending on what the violation is, and then we would then deal with it internally.
I mean, I see in here, there's many homes going this route, you know, and, you know, we're from Illinois, we retired here, and, you know, this is our retirement home, so, you know, we just wanna, we wanna make sure that, you know, these short-term rentals play by the rules and are respectful of these neighbors that have been there forever.
I understand that, absolutely. So, with our company, we've actually started to implement noise monitoring systems so that if the noise starts to get above a certain decimal in the home, it actually calls us and alerts us immediately, and then I call the guests. We actually have signage in the home that reminds guests of respecting of people and the neighbors, of the quiet hours and the property lines, the docks, you know, at the HOAs, and to be respectful of other people in the area. I always make sure that I reach out as a property manager, as the local operations manager. I reach out to each guest. I remind them that, you know, this is a family-friendly neighborhood. Please be respectful, language, animals, if the property, you know, allows animals, please make sure your animals are on leashes and that they're within your property zone. I do make sure that we try to strive to make sure that not only the homeowner has a great experience, but that the people around are not affected by this.
Okay.
Because you guys do come here for your retirement. This is your place to call your quiet zone. And I don't want that to be interrupted in any way, shape, or form.
But you can't control, you know, once they pay their money. and get
Absolutely.
Okay, excuse me, we do have a 3-minute limit on this, okay, that's
Sorry.
fine.
That's fine. Can I ask one other
And then,
quick
well,
question? Just one quick question. Are these renters allowed to use the boats too? 'Cause that's a whole nother ballgame when they're on the lake, knowing the rules.
If they bring their own boats,
Oh, own boats, are
Yep,
fine.
yep.
They're not using the owners.
absolutely, no.
Okay, all right.
thank you very much. Any other questions? Any other comments? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose: the short-term rental at the property located at 351 14th Avenue, owned by Kettle on the Lake LLC, also described as Lot 1 of Shimmering Waters, addition to Lake Arrowhead, located in the southeast 1/4, northeast 1/4, northeast 1/4, northeast 1/4 of Section 13, Town 20 North, Range 5 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300430400000.
Kettle on the Lake LLC has submitted a short-term rental STR license application and conditional use permit for the property located at 351 14th Ave, requesting use for the 2024-2025 season that ends on June 30th, 2025. Letters were sent to 11 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property. The Planning Commission places conditions on CUPs issued for STRs that will set the maximum occupancy and maximum number of vehicles allowed on the property based on the standards found in Town Code, Chapter 234-61. Staff recommends a maximum occupancy of 8 and a maximum vehicles of 4 to be parked on hard surfaces, not on the lawn or grass at the property. The applicant has completed all license requiremements, including a property manager within 25 miles on record with the town.
Thank you. Is there someone here?
I'm Daryl Malik, I'm one of the property owners.
Daryl Malcolm. Okay.
I really don't have anything to add other than what was submitted. We're gonna use it primarily for ourselves and our other friends that are co-owners, and with limited short-term rental over the course of the year to be determined.
And you do have a property manager
Yes,
within
Yes.
25 miles and 24/7?
yep.
Okay. I saw you have the one by the garage, that parking area, and then there's more parking area down by
Correct.
the,
There's much more than 4 we could fit. I mean, we could fit 12 cars if we wanted to, but
Okay.
the limit's 4.
are you anticipating the one that's lower off of the, like?
Well, I would say
where-
that's where, when people stay there, I'm sure that's where they're gonna unload their vehicle, for sure. It's just way more convenient than walking all the way down from the garage, but there's plenty of parking there on concrete.
Do any of the commissioners have any other questions? Is there anyone here to speak on this issue? Yes, could you please step up and then state your name? And I just want to remind everyone with regard to the public hearing section that we are not allowed to engage in discourse with people that are speaking. If you have questions or things, perhaps you can address it to, well, Lexi or someone else in administration, but during this time, we cannot engage. And also, between the people at the podium, they should not be engaging with one another. Later on, if you would like to discuss things further, that's great, but we get 3 minutes.
I live within 200 feet, and I can't remember the address of the one that was a short-term rental. I've experienced up to 12 cars, all occupied by male golfers who, manhood gets bigger when they're away from their wives. Every sentence usually carries F word. They drink till 2 in the morning, I think was the record. And I'm not speaking ill against him because I don't know. It's just what I've experienced. I just don't care for short-term rentals, period. I built 2 houses, bought a third, complied with every ordinance in 42 years. And I know it's not your fault this short-term rental got dropped on you guys, but it sure has affected, everybody buys and thinks they have a good retirement place, and then all of a sudden, all the local ordinances are out the window. So I wanna compliment Lexi. I talked to her. She was very polite and explained everything, so I'm just frustrated with the whole thing. And I called Arrowhead to see how things get advertised relative to being on shore. If they have to get day passes to use the boat landings and this and that, and if the renters get all the Arrowhead Association amenities. So there's just lots of things, and having 12 cars on there violates toilets, bedrooms, everything. And I just don't feel I need to become part of calling people when stuff is so obvious, especially during the summer weekends. If people are trying to make money and stuff, put some of it towards hiring somebody to go around on the weekends, preferably later in the evening when they start drinking. And that's just it. I'm just frustrated. I've called the police. They've humored me. But I just don't want to get on there as being, calling all the time. But the situations do exist a lot, and thank you for letting me speak.
Excuse me, sir, did you sign your, the sheet there, please?
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lexi.
Is there anything else that you'd like
I
to?
mean, our intent is to be fully respectful of everybody and primarily people we know renting it, and we have the full intent to be respectful. We've had that situation too many times.
Do you have a specific vetting process that you utilize for your tenants or
Our
your?
intent right now is it's gonna be somebody we know
Okay,
in general, so, or some highly referred, so.
okay. All right, thank you very much. Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose. The short-term rental at the property located at 1572 Kingswood Trail, owned by Jennifer Helpap, DBA Back Nine Rentals LLC, also described as Lot 1 of CSM 6342, located in the southwest 1/4, northwest 1/4, Section 14, Town 20 North, Range 5 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 030-03514-0010.
Jennifer Halpap, DBA Back Nine Rentals LLC, has submitted a short-term rental STR license application and conditional use permit for the property located at 1572 Kingwood Trail, requesting use for the 2024-2025 season that ends on June 30th, 2025. Letters were sent to 15 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property. The Plan Commission places conditions on CUPs issued for STRs that will set maximum occupancy and maximum number of vehicles allowed on the property based on the standards found in Town Code, Chapter 23461. Staff recommends a maximum occupancy of 12 and the maximum vehicles of 6 to be parked on hard surfaces not on the lawn or grass at the property. The applicant has completed all license requirements, including a property manager within 25 miles on record with the town.
Thank you. Is there anyone here? Jennifer?
Hi, good evening. I'm Jennifer Helpath, and I want to thank you for your time. My husband, Ryan, and I bought this property a year ago with my brother-in-law, so his brother, and it's primarily a family cabin. But when we're not using it, we would like to rent it out on short-term basis to see, if we can help pay the mortgage a little bit. But it's pretty much all.
And do you have a property manager?
Yeah, we're going to be the property managers. So we've been living there, and we camp locally on the homeowners association during the summer, and then we winter with my parents in Oxford. So that's within 25 miles. So he'll be on call 24/7. And we have a whole network of people that live in the neighborhood that can be there right away if somebody needs help.
Any questions from any of the commissioners? So Oxford is within 25 miles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It just seems further to me. I don't
I
know
know,
why.
it's such a slow drive. I agree. That's why we figured we should, like our neighbor across the street's helping us with lawn and trash cans. And then we have a bunch of other people that we could list as property managers that will pay like per incidence if there's a problem with parking or anything else that's going on that can be there in case we're expecting a baby. So we don't know if we'll be able to show up, right away. Same with his brother, he's in Marshfield, so we want to be able to take care of most of the issues ourselves if anything comes up, but we do have a backup plan, if we can't be there in time.
Will the town be aware of additional phone numbers then, other
Yeah.
than what you've supplied them with?
Sure, yeah, we can type up the names and numbers of everybody that we've agreed to help us if that's what you guys would like, absolutely.
I think that would be beneficial and helpful.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this particular issue? Okay, there are 3 bathrooms, and I only saw 2 bedrooms, and their lower is finished.
Yes. So the last year while we've been living there, we've been finishing the basement as well. So when we bought the home, there were the 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs. And then we finished the basement with 2 bedrooms with egress windows and then the bathroom down there as
Okay.
well.
And they utilized 2 bedrooms for the square footage for occupancy. Am I on the right property?
We did 2 bedrooms, but then we did all the basement as well as like one kind of. We had quite the time calculating it,
Okay,
but we got roughly the same square footage that we expected. That's also written on here. So
the 1856 is the lower then? Is that what?
it would be the basement would be the lower. That entire amount would be the 2 bedrooms and everything but the bathroom.
Oh, basement, you got the 1268, I see that, okay. Okay. All right. Then those are all the questions I have. Any, no? So, okay, well,
Okay.
thank you,
I-
Jennifer.
A question on the parking. We have gravel. Is that all right if it's not something?
It's considered hard surface pursuant to the ordinances.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Okay, the next item is consideration of a conditional use permit for the following purpose, the short-term rental at the property located at 1005 Moore Court, owned by Eric Kudinger, DBA Hidden Sands LLC, also described as Lot 37 at Longbow addition to Lake Sherwood, located in the southeast one quarter, Section 16, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 030-02245-0000.
Eric Kundinger, GBA Hidden Sands LLC, has submitted a short-term rental STR license application and conditional use permit for the property located at 1005 Moore Court, requesting use for the 2024-2025 season that ends on June 30th, 2025. Letters were sent to 11 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property. The Plan Commission places conditions on CUPs issued for STRs that will set the maximum occupancy and maximum numbers of vehicles allowed on the property based on the standards found in Town Code Chapter 23461. Staff recommends a maximum occupancy of 5 and a maximum vehicles of 3 to be parked on hard surfaces, not on the lawn or grass at the property. The applicant has completed all license requirements, including a property manager within 25 miles on record with the town.
Okay. Is there someone here from the property that would like to? Did you sign in here?
Yes, yep.
Okay. Just state your name and.
Yep, Eric Cunninger, so it'd be one of the owners, and Michael Caroline, one of the other owners as well.
Okay. And can you give us a little bit of background or
Sure
what's
thing,
your
sure thing.
intentions?
Yep, so the intent is to utilize it as a short-term rental, but then also we have 3 partners, so our 2 cells and then one other partner as well, so we'll be using it on a personal basis as well.
Okay. And then you do have a property manager?
We do have a property manager, that's my spouse, and actually similar to the lady previous to us, we've kind of got another list of people that, you know, we kind of have situated to help us out as any situations arise so that we can make sure they're handled.
And that would be 24/7? Okay. Are those numbers that you can provide to the town so that
Certainly.
if there are issues, that something?
Yep, 100%.
Okay.
And our third partner is available as well.
I'm sorry?
Our third partner, he's available as well.
Okay. And he lives up here within a 25-mile radius?
Yeah, he's within the distance. He's in Plover.
Plover? Okay. I think that might be a little bit more than 25 miles, Plover. Might be.
I know I had checked with Dustin Grant before we started everything, and he said that was fine.
Dustin's with the county, he's not with the town. So he would not have any say over what we approve here at the town. You would have to check with our zoning administrator.
Yeah, I'm in Point, and that's roughly 38 miles from here, so.
Yeah.
For that list of contacts, who would we send that to?
Lexi, you can send that to Lexi.
Yep.
Does that go to host compliance then as well?
I would give it to our clerk, and then she would put it in the system as well.
Okay.
So do you have someone then that can be closer, within 25 miles?
If we need someone closer than we currently have, we could come up with another person as well.
It would have to be within 25 miles.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any questions? Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to address this issue? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving right along.
Oh, one before we move on, sorry.
Oh,
We did
oh.
receive a comment.
You're correct. And that will be on the file with regard to this property. Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose. The short-term rental at the property located at 1678 Archer Avenue, owned by Duggan Sand Valley LLC, also described as Lot 8 of Archer Forest, located in the southeast one quarter, southwest one quarter, Section 22, Town 20 North, Range 5 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300126500040.
Duggan Sand Valley LLC has submitted a short-term rental STR license application and conditional use permit for the property located at 1678 Archer Ave, requesting use for the 2024-2025 season that ends on June 30th, 2025. Letters were sent to 7 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property. The Plan Commission places conditions on CUPs issued for STRs that will set a maximum occupancy and maximum number of vehicles allowed on the property based on the standards found in Town Code Chapter 234-61. Staff recommends a maximum occupancy of 26 and maximum vehicles of 13 to be parked on hard surfaces, not on the lawn or grass at the property. The applicant has completed all license requirements, including property manager within 25 miles on records with the town.
Is there some, yes? Did you sign in over here? Or then you can just sign up there and then state your name and,
My name is Josh Duggan. I own that property with Alex Filkowski. We originally I built it to entertain clients and then just offset it with some short-term rental income in between that. So this week we're here. I was here with clients for the last 4 days, and then he's coming up and he's gonna have clients for the rest of this week. So we did have an incident, so we've asked the management company to vet our clients a little bit better. The neighbors, they were sending me videos, and it was there. We had a group of like maybe 12 people that were really loud, and I ultimately just told them. I think Tim and Julie might be here. Yeah, I just told them to just call the police eventually, and that's what they did. And I think that's kind of shut it down. So that was unfortunate. So hopefully that will never happen again. We did build the house. We offset it a couple hundred feet from the road, as far back away from any other property line that we could. So.
can you, does any commissioners have any questions here?
Yeah.
Is there anyone here that would like to talk about this? Yes, please come up and state your name and sign, if you've not signed in there, if you could just please sign in up there. Okay, perfect.
Good evening. Look, my name's Julie Matthews. We live on next door, and we built this for our retirement, okay? I totally understand, you know, Airbnbs and things like that, but 26 people is ridiculous, okay? It's like a hotel. The night that it happened, it was a day, I came up, no sympathy please, but we came up, I was recovering from a heart attack, and that was like our peaceful place. They started at 9 o'clock in the morning. They went throughout the entire night, 11 o'clock. Now, I thought for sure that they were gonna eat, or somebody was gonna do something, but it was ridiculous. I am definitely not a shy person by any means, but the F-bombs, the mother effers, we did text, and we did try to work with Josh, but we called the police 3 times.
Yeah, he was either unwilling or unable to silence his people, and that was only 12 of them. And the police came 3 times and couldn't do it either until 11:30, 11:45.
And again, we're not difficult people by any means. I kid you not. My father-in-law is 84 years old, hard as hearing.
87.
Sorry, 87. I'll make him younger. But he could hear him. I did record it. I felt like a Karen. I really did, and that's not who I am.
Neither
But
am I. We tried to work with Josh yesterday. He didn't have time.
We wanted to meet him.
And we found out about this thing on Thursday night. We got this letter.
Right.
So we didn't have time to fill out anything to complaint or anything, and we didn't know about it. And on that Saturday, which he was well aware of and told you about, he's never called to, say, I'm sorry, apologize, won't happen again, nothing, no contact whatsoever.
And can I just say one more thing? And I think the most disturbing part of the whole incident was, they knew my name. Whoever their manager was, these guys were yelling at my name, Julie. I am not making this up.
Yep, we
So
will.
somewhere along the line, some kind of communication got there, not as, authoritative, or, I mean, I guess that's probably a bad word, but really, if you're disturbing the neighborhood or the neighbors, as an owner, you have an obligation. So, I tend to go on and on, but, okay. Again, nothing personal. I love the fact that people can make money and do things to help pay their mortgage and things like this. But 26 people, really? I mean, come on. They're
what point
over,
does
right
it-
over our, well, I just gotta say, they're right over, we hear them.
They're right
They're right
facing
there.
my front, our thing.
They
our
have
porch.
floodlights and we haven't seen anything
And
yet.
outdoor music,
Yep.
blasting outside all day and all night.
And they have floodlights that overlook a golf tee thing. I'm not-
No, it's a golfing putting green or something that they have.
We
there.
don't know what the ramifications will be once the foliage goes, okay, so, at this point, we haven't seen it, but I don't know, I just, it's
And
sad.
My
It's sad.
question is, at what point does it become a hotel? When you reach 100, or how many people do I have to have there
Yep.
before it's ridiculous?
Yep, so, thank you for your
Thank
time, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm John Carlson, and we have the property right across the road, right by these guys here, and we were called several times about that going on that night. My question, reiterate what they said too, but where I'm going with this is, what is the sanitary part like? 2-bedroom home, 3-bedroom home, 10-bedroom home, if they can accommodate 26 people? And also with that kind of vehicles, usually when you get your, for your septic tank, your 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, I don't know, where you go up with the commercial stuff. But anyway, we were contacted about all that noise and that the cops had been called, and I just don't wanna be a problem. If you guys can work it all out, that's great.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Commissioners, any questions?
Yes. Or did you wanna go first?
No,
Or we'll wait till
no, go ahead. Wait, no, you go.
go ahead.
Nope.
So you were using this as a business entertainment place first,
Yeah, entertaining clients, yeah.
entertaining clients. You have 5 bedrooms in there right now? I mean, there's 5 bedrooms.
6,
6?
8 beds, and we advertised 12 people, not
4,
26. That
5.
must just be on the permit, but
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bathrooms. 6, okay.
8
Six
bathrooms.
beds.
Well,
We
two
got
half
7. There's 7 that she
Yeah,
counted.
I didn't see the 8th one, but
Oh,
we for
okay,
sure saw 7.
sorry. Okay, so there's enough. Right. Do we have anything currently in our ordinances for a property this large being used?
No, we have one short-term rental that actually has 28 occupancy. That was granted. So there's one bigger than this.
For a business, for a home,
Oh, for that, they would have to go through and get a business license with us. But
when they're using it for entertainment purposes,
when
though?
if they're using it for entertainment purposes as a business, collecting money for it, they would have to go through and get a business license through.
When they're entertaining clients?
They just have to do it one time, but they wouldn't have to do it each time.
Maybe I'm not asking the, Attorney Flanagan, let me ask this question, maybe I'm not asking it clearly. We've gone through so many short-term rentals at this point, saving the biggest for the last. When somebody's using a home of this size for entertaining purposes, does it need a special type of permit according to our current code?
If we're seeing a situation where they're using it for commercial or some, thing that is going more than the residential character of it, then I think yes. The difficult part is that if a LLC owns, like we see, often LLCs own, if they set that up in that way, it depends on what entertaining clients is. There's probably some kind of threshold that you hit, where we would probably require a business license in order to operate that if it's molding into a commercial use. I would also just say, and I realize this goes beyond the scope of your question, but it's somewhat related. I think we're hearing, so part of a conditional use permit process is to hear concerns, discuss those concerns, and maybe set conditions that are, reasonably related to the concerns, right? I think the applicant has stated 6 bedrooms, advertising it for 12 people. There may be a discussion and some consideration on a occupancy amount that is maybe a little bit easier to manage with the neighborhood and the neighbors' concerns.
Have you tried to park 13 vehicles in that driveway?
No. I mean,
I don't think it's physically possible.
I did the math for it. I really
I-
did. I spent a long time with it, and we're in
Doing
this
the
photo.
math, doing the math though, and physically placing 6 vehicles in that driveway.
They would have to, I don't know how
Respectfully.
the parking would, how they'd get into it, but it is just spatially possible to have that many cars there. So I made sure of that before I gave a,
we had 8 this weekend. It was no problem.
If they're parked there, they're gonna run into each other backing out, the way it's drawn.
Say that again, Bill, please.
The way this map is drawn, it may be physically possible to park them, but if all 13 spaces are filled, they're gonna run into each other trying to get in and out.
Especially
It's
the
physically impossible to
two
park
right at
13 cars in that
the
space.
throat. I don't see
Not for
how.
another car.
I mean, I pulled my car in there, and I don't,
And we're not beating you up, Lexi.
No,
We're-
it's
we're
just-
just
I'm
respectfully
just
having
looking
a
at what the
discussion, so
drawing-
please
Yeah.
understand
Look at the
that.
space between the 2 cars closest to the house, and tell me that one of those isn't gonna back out into one of those other cars trying to get out. Or, unless they're all backing in. And even then, I'm not sure they can make that swing.
And again, respectfully, she did the math according to the way she's supposed to do it,
not
but we're, right.
Saying
Just
she's
so she
doing anything
understands that
wrong.
we're,
Don't misunderstand my
Yeah.
comment.
I just make the suggestion based on what the town code says. You guys
Right.
ultimately have the ability
Right.
to make the decision you feel fit.
so we mean you no disrespect.
I
We're
don't
just-
take it as that way.
I'm not.
so
This is
Josh,
not
you said you
personal.
had 8 cars there this weekend? My other concern, though, too, is if you did have the 13 cars there, an emergency vehicle,
Could not get in and out.
and that would be another one of my concerns as well. Anybody else have any, let me see if there was something else here. The occupancy, how is it configured in the home right now? The beds, the,
On the main level, there's 2 bedrooms, 1 on each side. 1 stairway up to the main level, bedrooms on each side, and then 2 bedrooms. They're just stacked on top of each other all the way up to the 2nd floor. It's basically a house right out of Sand Valley's golf course with an additional level.
And who is your management company,
Chris Gantz, Patriot Management Company.
and where are they based out of?
I think right on the lake.
Which
Arrowhead,
lake?
Lake Arrowhead. I'm not sure my partner set that stuff up.
so you have 2, 4, 6 bedrooms and 2 beds per room, 1 bed per room.
There's 6 king beds and then just like a little kind of side bed, like a twin, on the top 2 bedrooms. So 8 golfers we figured, or 6 couples.
How many complaints have you received?
Just the 1.
Have they received any tickets?
Not that not sure, it gets checked during the short-term rental process, and there couldn't have been any because they've got their license.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else here to speak on this issue? No other questions? Okay, thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
All right. Consideration of an amendment to the site plan of operation for Lake Camelot Property Owners Association, Inc., DBA Lake Camelot Lodge LLC, to expand the current operations at 298 Leisure Lane, also described as Lot 74 of Chester addition to Lake Camelot, located in southwest 1/4, southeast 1/4 of Section 9, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with the parcel number of 0300522200000.
One quick thing, it is not actually an amendment, I thought it was, but it is a new one, so sorry for
Okay,
that.
well, that's all right. That,
So-
I'll cross that part out.
Applicant, Lake Camelot Property Owners Association, Inc., doing business as Lake Camelot Lodge LLC, requesting approval for a site plan of operation for the property located at 298 Leisure Lane. Applicants propose in addition to expand the operation of the property. When the business was last expanded in 2009, a site plan of operation was not required at the time. Applicant is now proposing an expansion to the business to construct a one-story, 2,986 square foot addition to the existing 4,344 square foot building on the parcel. A site plan of operation review application, checklist, supplemental information, associated maps, and renderings are included in the packet. Letters were sent to 8 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property.
Thank you. And is there someone here?
Yeah, my name is Don Dowd, I'm the president of the board.
Dan Goldman, former president, current treasurer.
Yeah, so our intent with the property is to expand the lodge. It's been a great resource for our members and guests, and we're looking to expand it so we can better serve the people that participate in the lodge. And also to make it ADA compliant, we want to add some more bathrooms upstairs, so it's easier for people to access bathrooms. And
Okay. All right. Commissioners, any questions?
You have plans to serve food now, or?
There will be expanded food offerings, yes, but it's not a full, calling it a prep room, but it is going to be outfitted such that it can be converted to a kitchen in the future when the time is right.
I think our term, short term is just really to have bar food, burritos, hot dogs, pretzels, stuff like that, other than pizzas that we offer now.
And I guess one thing I do want to clarify versus the synopsis that was just given there, so there's Lake Camelot Property Owners, Inc. There's Lake Camelot Lodge LLC, which is owned by Inc. Camelot on the Lake is the name that you're familiar with, which is the reference to the LLC, and that is the operator for which the plan of operation has been submitted. So Lake Camelot Property Owners, Inc. is continuing to operate as its former shell of homeowners association, but nothing as part of this plan is impacted by what we do. I thought that language was maybe a little confusing as to what's really going on.
And you want us to remember that tomorrow?
No, not at all. 5 minutes.
So there is going to be a remodel and an addition. Is there some kind of a demolition also that was going to be taking place? I thought is there going to be a demolition of any kind?
I think when you look at, so one of those drawings is labeled demolition. Essentially, there's earthwork that has to occur. There's part of the tennis court is going away to convert that into pickleball courts. There's the existing cooler structure that's in place needs to be removed to accommodate the expansion, yeah.
Okay.
The existing footprint of the existing building is going to remain.
Okay.
And it'll be added onto.
All right.
So what's gonna happen with the cooler?
The existing cooler is going away. There will be, if you look on the drawing that shows the expanded footprint, there'll be a cooler that's placed between the new addition and the parking lot, essentially. So, Jerry, if you turned what's there 90 degrees and backed it up a bit and made it a bit bigger.
Okay, that's it. I saw that, okay.
So I know this is a new site. Why was there no site plan of operation for the last remodel that was done? Do you know what?
It wasn't a requirement in 2009.
Okay.
And there was no remodel or anything.
It was just the adding of the shelter outside.
The pavilion was added at some point, but that didn't fall, 2017, that didn't fall in the guidelines, yeah. But this is a physical addition over 2,000 square feet is my understanding that triggered
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Do you have any elevation drawings at all?
Not in what was provided, but I can certainly forward that to you.
I think it'd be interesting just to see the full picture.
Yeah, ultimately, it's,
We did have elevation plans.
There's elevation drawings.
I don't know.
There's some
There's
in
one on the
there,
grading site plan.
Yeah.
even the
Yeah, but you're-
soil, you've got the.
I know what's being asked is ultimately you're looking for a rendering of what the building's going to look like. And it's, the gable will be perpendicular to the existing, will be going out in the direction of the, tennis courts there, cathedral ceiling inside, et cetera.
Using Ellis. I
Did you
like
get the
the
big
prep
one?
room and
You
the
did get
bathrooms upstairs. It's great planning.
Colors, if you're interested, if you've been there in recent history, the addition to the pavilion is gonna be the gray with the white trim.
The what with the white trim?
It's like a medium gray color.
So now, you're filing your site plan of operation, which is the original, not an amendment. I'm assuming that the information regarding the signs are already in place, but you're putting it on this application just to show that there are signs there?
Yeah, I mean, the application asked, so we went and
Okay.
took note of everything that's existing on the property and put it on there just so that there's a record of it.
Okay. Variety of live music, primarily country rock, may be played, weather permitting, inside or out. Are you going to be within timeframes, specific timeframes, or were you going to do pursuant to ordinance with regard to noise violations?
Yeah, I think there's a further question there that indicates outdoor noise will be congruent with, the current town ordinances on noise.
It says here too, outdoor, utilizing the pavilions or grounds each weekend primarily during the summer months, infrequently during off-season.
That's on the checklist.
Yep. Just like other businesses.
It says here that you were planning on providing the Department of Commerce with the building plans within the next couple of weeks, which would have been from August 13th. Has that been submitted
Those have been submitted and approved.
and approved? Perfect. Okay, on the checklist, there are indications with, like the project site information, it says C100. Now, I saw C500 and 600 in these plans, but I didn't see anything with regard to a C100. I don't even know what that means.
C100 would be a reference to a drawing, and truthfully, those are provided directly by Ellis to Lexi, so if it's missing in the packet, I unfortunately don't have an answer for you.
Okay.
200 would be this one. It's in the packet. It's like the very first one behind this blue page. Otherwise, it would be
In the large,
Small.
in the small ones.
only in the small one?
Yeah, the large ones is what Ellis provided me for plans. So it should technically be in there as well, but otherwise it is here.
C100, 200, 300, 400 are all in here.
Okay.
Ellis
Now I
is
see it.
very
Thank
thorough.
you.
Very thorough.
Is Andy doing this?
They're not a deck portion anymore?
The,
I'm not seeing that.
all of the wooden deck structure is getting removed and replaced with, concrete for low maintenance purposes.
Same height, just concrete.
The parking spaces are what you have currently. That's not changing.
No additions, no change.
I just want to make sure I don't have any other questions. The pickleball court is going to be something new. Well, you have the tennis court, but now you're removing that and putting in a pickleball court.
Yeah, ultimately, the existing tennis court overlaps into the footprint needed for this, and truthfully, more people are playing pickleball than tennis these days, so.
Tennis courts used now for pickleball on both sides, so it, just have little one versus two.
Do you have a start date in mind? I'm sure you need to go through all of this stuff, and then a completion date after you start, is there?
Well, I think within 2 weeks, they're gonna wanna start to mobilize equipment to the site, and then, completion should be roughly April of next year. Substantially complete, I'll say.
They're closing operation during the winter months, during construction.
We will be shut down for a period of time, following New Year's to, when we can get at least temporary occupancy in April, hopefully.
No darts.
No darts.
Good for me, vacation.
Very nice plans. It's gonna be nice, fun.
I'm sorry, I think I was looking at something. Did you address the materials being used? Are they gonna be the same types that you have there now?
Are you familiar with the, addition of the pavilion?
Yes.
That's in place, it's gonna be that.
Okay,
So it'll be that medium gray color with the white trim.
okay.
And the roofing will match existing, cause that was replaced recently, so.
And the entire building's gonna be redone, so it's not just the addition, the whole building will be resided.
And white trim?
Yeah, so whitish trim, yeah.
Is that something that, white trim, is that within the earth tones and the design standards that, just asking, okay.
You could put that in the, findings of facts. White isn't, but white is not. So you can put that in your findings of facts.
Is there design standards that apply to the property that's within the, zoning that this is in?
It would be outside of Alpine Village, so it does just
Doesn't
technically
apply.
say that earth tone colors are strongly preferred and color accents must be visually compatible. It doesn't say that they're
It doesn't
necessary.
require there. So that's not a concern there.
This is a lake amenity district? Okay, lake amenity. Okay,
They did apply it at the lure, did they not, or you, they wanted a white roof? I
Roof
don't
and
know.
trim is two different things. He's saying white trim, not white roof.
I'm just stating what, she asked the question, so I don't know, I'm gonna just.
I'm looking at 360, 131 standards, and I thought I saw something in there outside of Rome Town Center. But,
It just says
I'll look at
earth
that.
tone colors are preferred, then it says, roofs with darker earth tone colors are expected. So that's the only one that has.
okay, is there, did I ask if there was someone here?
No.
To, okay, is there someone here that would like to come forward and speak on this issue?
Hello, I'm Donna Moma, and I live directly behind it. And I was just curious, are you saying, so you're gonna build towards the tennis
Pavilion,
courts?
Yeah, pavilion tennis courts.
Okay.
So it's going up towards that location. Not
And-
turning around.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, cause it's very busy already, and I'm getting, this makes me very nervous, cause, you know, the noise, the swearing, everything, you know, and it's just, and I'm concerned that without them having like a restaurant there, it's just gonna get worse with the more drinking and this and that, and I was just kinda curious of, yeah, I didn't really know the plans, I was hoping it was, and if there was gonna be any, maybe, so they're not gonna like come my way at all for parking lots or nothing? Okay, cause I'm hoping that they'll maybe put up something to just to separate us a little bit, but I didn't know, so
Well, you
I,
still got the shed, you got the maintenance building kind of
Yeah.
separating out, so yeah.
So
you've
for
got
now,
plenty of
that's
buffer,
still-
That's gonna stay there, yeah.
okay, cause I mean, it's not much, I mean, you hear, you have your, if I'm in the house and I have my door, my sliding door open, I mean, I hear everybody's conversations.
Are you the relatively newer home that's off to the south?
No, I'm the one that's, well, I'm right next to the volleyball court. The
what?
yellow house, the yellow house that's right next to the volleyball court.
You feed the deer?
Oh,
There's deer back there, yes.
feeding deer? Is that what you just? Oh.
Well, we would welcome a conversation with you if there's some screening or other that maybe you have in mind that we could work
Something,
together.
yeah. Yeah, cause I'm just knowing it's gonna get more,
Or
Yeah, more people.
The intent is to go the other direction, so that we think it's the same as it would be now, it's gonna be the same going forward.
same, but going a little bit out, okay.
The packet with their designs can be found on our Rome website under our agendas and minutes. So if you go and scroll down and look for Plan Commission, you can see the packet, and if you scroll through it, you can see all of their design plans there.
Okay, alright, thank you.
Take care, you're welcome.
Do you do outdoor grilling, you know, outside where there's a lot of smoke, or?
We do food trucks on occasion, but that's about it.
Okay. Other questions? Everybody's good? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay. Applicant Plato Construction LLC Geneva Apartments requests approval for a revision to their site plan of operation for the property located at 265 Geneva Trail. Applicant received approval for their original site plan of operation for the Geneva Apartments on March 9th, I'm reading the wrong
You're
thing.
reading mine.
I am so sorry. I'll start over.
It's getting later and longer already.
Consideration of an amendment to the site plan of operation for Plato Construction LLC Geneva Apartments to make updates to previous plans to reflect current operations at 265 Geneva Trail, also described as Lot 2 of CSM 6524, located in the northeast 1/4, southwest 1/4, Section 8, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 030-01136-0609.
Alright, so applicant Plato Construction LLC Geneva Apartments requests approval for a revision to their site plan of operation for their property located at 265 Geneva Trail. Applicant received approval for their original site plan of operation for the Geneva Apartments on March 9th, 2024 from the Plan Commission, and March 18th, 2021 from the Town Board. Applicant is amending the previous site plan of operation to reflect the current operations of the business, including updates to the building design and updated site plan of operation, review application checklist, supplemental information, associated map, and renderings are included in the packet. For reference, the last approved site plan of operation for March 2021 is also included in your packet. A copy of the conditions associated with that approval are also included in the packets. Letters were sent to 8 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property.
Okay, would you like to come up and?
So yeah, basically we're just updating the plan that as the permits have been issued through each phase, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, there's been plot plans that have been turned in with each one of those. Would have been happy to have sent a map along with that, saying that it's a new site plan, but each plot plan shows the updates to the property. So I guess that's kind of where we're at with that. You know, Greg was taking care of all that, as we moved through, and none of that stuff was asked to me, although when you turn in your permits, you have to have a new plot plan each time, which did get turned in with that. Just in the official sense of a site plan, that was not asked of me.
So there was some mention that you're changing the design of the building?
No.
Thought I heard.
It said updates to building design in,
Because the buildings currently differ from the original approved designs. Like colors were different, some orientations might be different.
do we know what those are?
I do not have a list of them. It was just more so to be, I guess, to make a new one, because there was enough changes from the previous one that, like coloration being off.
So, just a little question, so this is another row behind where you're at, is that what it is, or?
No, we're done there, I mean, that's,
Okay, you're
what's
done.
there is it.
Okay, so then this is, maybe I didn't catch it.
It's updating the whole plot plan to the site. I mean, just, it's showing everything that's on that plan now. Or everything that's on that property now. Is what that, is what that new site plan shows. Again, it was done in 3 different phases, so you have the original plan showing the one set of apartments, then we'll come in for the next permit. You gotta do a new plot plan, show the next set of apartments, get that permit, come in for the next set of permits, you gotta show that plot plan with the new. So this is showing all 3 of those sets on one big plot plan, or one big site plan.
So you're not adding another 3 apartments?
No.
Okay, you're just updating the
Yeah,
plot plan,
it's
paperwork.
It's just updating the site plan map, if you wanna call it,
Right, okay.
whatever the original one you have, or the one that we started with, again, just shows one set of apartment building, and again, each phase, every time I did another permit for the next, so I got phase 2, 3 more buildings, phase 3, 3 more buildings, all on the same property.
Right.
All with different plot plans showing, the next one, the next one, the next one, and now you have one big plan showing everything on there.
So this currently shows your 9 buildings, your garages, your driveways. This is really what we need to, correct? That's everything out.
Yeah, if you have you got all 9 on, 9
There's all 9
buildings.
here, it's showing your garages, your roads, your septic fields.
Yep.
Okay.
That's all we're doing is approving it. Approving the plans already in existence.
If
Buildings
that's supposed to be the plan that's shown, then I wanna know where the 2 parking lots to the north of the driveway are shown on the block.
Yeah, and that, I turned in that, I have that map. I turned that into Dan, I believe, a while back, but. The newest, what you guys showed me.
Okay, cause I don't have a drawing that shows that.
Is this map here? So I gave Dan our.
Okay, all right.
Should have that.
There's some back there.
That shows
Then
everything.
the question I also have is, I went by there on my way to the meeting this afternoon, and it says there will be fences around the dumpsters, but there's one sitting out.
Yeah, no, we're gonna
Far
put,
back
we're gonna
parking
put,
lot.
that's gonna get enclosed, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a picture like that in the property file?
You should.
It probably was.
Matter of fact,
but
I'm almost sure I gave it to you a couple, 2-3 weeks ago.
I think I put it where I got this given everything in the packet.
So where was the where's the,
There's 2 spaces. They're showing on that map, but
They
I
are?
don't know that that map was ever approved or where it was approved from. It doesn't come, it wasn't in our packet, so.
Yeah, that's
Do you
part of the
know that that
reason.
was approved for
Nope.
construction?
Nope, that's
That's
why
all
it's
I'm
getting
asking
brought
is,
here.
when was that approved for
Yep.
construction?
Yep, because there's stuff that's not approved that's in play. That's why it's back here.
And then it doesn't show up in my packet either, and I went by there this afternoon just to make sure I'm not seeing things. But there's no, I don't know how that got approved,
It's confusing.
Yeah.
and you're telling me it wasn't.
It must, was probably something that got started by someone in my position prior to me for approval that didn't go through this board.
So nothing was
should've been-
approved for that.
yeah, it should've been brought through the
What I'm
board.
saying is, this needs to be amended before we can approve it, to incorporate those parking areas. Because they're there, and if you're gonna amend this plan about inside operation, it better be correct. And it's not correct, the way it is presented today. It's my only point.
When you're done.
No, I was, okay, I won't get it all folded up that.
Commissioner Weiser, question, do you recall, in your prior experience, if there was ever an issue with those parking lots being incorporated? Because I was surprised when I saw them put in.
Yeah,
Quite frankly.
I don't recall that.
Okay.
They weren't on the original, but the
No.
original was only for the
They're
first
not
set.
even on the updates. And that shows them, that drawing shows them, and that's the way they exist. However, I want to know where it was approved.
You can hang on to that if you need it.
Okay, any other questions? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this particular issue? Okay, thank you. One more. Okay. Consideration of a site plan of operation for Scenic Valley Properties LLC DBA Creighton Pines for construction and operation of a container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within Rome Town Center, described as follows. Being part of parcel number 030-01136-0501, located in part of the northwest 1/4, northwest 1/4, and northeast 1/4, northwest 1/4 of section 17, town 20 north, range 6 east, town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin.
Alright, applicant, Scenic Valley Properties LLC, doing business as Creighton Pines, has submitted a site plan of operation for operation of container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within the Rome Town Center, being part of parcel 030-01136-0501. The parcel is zoned mixed town center and a lodging facility is considered a permitted use. A site plan of operation, application, checklist, and supplemental information, associated map and renderings are included in packets and handouts. Letters were sent to 16 property owners within 200 feet of the affected property.
Okay, hello again.
Again, nice to see everybody. I do have a few extra pieces that I wasn't able to get to Lexi before she printed things off, so just to, couple extra things like the, I might be missing one. Did somebody get two of them? Hang on. I don't know. But in this packet, yeah, this one has an additional drawings and floor plans in there for your viewing. And if you need another packet of the presentation, I have those too. But I think you've all seen them a couple times, so.
I think I have all of this.
Are
Are you short
one?
one?
Yeah.
We're good. Right there.
Okay, thank you. Saving paper, apparently.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the commissioners? I'm gonna have to go through all my notes here. It's a
I do
lot
have
of
a
them.
question.
Go ahead.
I went out just this afternoon before the meeting and did some exploration on prefab containers. how do we know what you're actually gonna place there until you make the decision on which company you're gonna use?
Well,
'Cause I went to the one that you would,
Yep, so I've been in discussion with, Backcountry, and I'm planning on visiting their site this weekend if there's anyone around to let me, and they have a big function. Otherwise, I'll go there next week. And I've been to their site many times, looked at their quality, their workmanship, it's all top notch. It looks a lot better on site than it does on their website. I think their website's just a little bit old. So I do have plans in there for 2 containers to start out with. One is a main floor, which is what you guys saw on the presentation. And then I've also incorporated one that went upstairs as well to bring in another 2 bedrooms and bath with also a little deck area off the top of the container. So discussing with them, I can either, and they're gonna look at structural components, but instead of doing them as I've drawn, maybe make it a little bit more interesting from the elevation, to actually turn one 90 degrees and make it perpendicular. So, but I've been in communication with them, I've gotten some really good estimates from them. The other prefab home that I'm really considering, they're also pretty local between Racine and Chicago. They don't have anything for me yet to go view. I wanna see their quality and their workmanship before I, go down that avenue. But really, the way that this concept is going to work, for me to get this off the ground running fast, is to have these things pre-made, to bring them on site while I'm doing the site work. Otherwise, you know how long it takes to build, especially in an area like this that's booming. I've been under construction a lot. I've done many spec homes, high-end properties, and I've always had people in my backyard that I've used time and time again. This area, with all of this expansion, I feel that this is the best way to have a profitable, start.
So, when you say prefab, we're not talking container.
Those are that's technically a prefab as well, but it's prefabricated. So either it will be the container, and then on a portion of the 2-story container, I do have to create a staircase on the exterior portion to get from one spot to the other because the containers are so small. So that would be stick-built on the side of it. I'd also put a stick-built, deck, off to the side, and then screen that in as well.
So that's what you mean when you say that it'll
then-
be a
and then the
container
fir-
and stick-built are the additions that you're going to have to put in place on the containers to make them function?
Yes, and then
Okay.
stick-built can also mean prefab because it's not a container, but it's built out of sticks and then it's brought to the site. So, really, in my opinion, stick-built means really on-site stick-built, but now with paneling houses and all of that, they're all kind of starting to get intertwined.
that's what I was watching this afternoon. They came and put it on site, put up the walls, put
Yep.
down the roof, and they had it all set up in
There you go.
10 minutes.
Yeah. What I like about it too is I'm very particular, when it comes to builds and finishes, and I would wanna be on site all the time for that. With these 2 companies, then I could see that process happen before I actually purchase it and it's actually set here.
Are these gonna be set on a foundation?
So a couple different ways of doing it. So they're not gonna be on a foundation where it's dug underneath per se. They'll either be on a cement pad or on pilings. Pilings most likely so that the way that the plumbing comes in, they need to get underneath, so that they're able to hook up once they're set. So then that would be skirted. So there'd be a spot where they could get into that cavity.
But they're not portable.
No, they are anchored.
They're fixed.
Yeah. I mean, obviously for tornado situations and whatever. Yeah, they're fixed.
So you would put it on pilings?
Yes.
So, like the HVAC and everything else would be under them
Well,
versus inside?
There wouldn't be an HVAC. We're gonna have, the portion
Oh, like mini splits and that sort of
yes,
thing
there'll be mini
inside?
splits. Yeah, and then there'll also be heated flooring.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what a mini split is.
You don't have like vents and that sort of, well,
Right,
you explain it, I'm
it's
sorry.
like a little
Oh,
air
okay.
conditioner on your wall, and also heater.
They're very popular in Europe, and that saves space for smaller living spaces, yeah.
So will these be year-round then, or not?
Yeah, they can be, for sure.
Okay, so you can keep your plumbing warm and so on?
Yes, absolutely.
Even though you're on a pylon?
Yes, and that's why I wanna have heated floors.
So they don't have your normal vents and everything for heating and cooling.
That would take up way too much space.
Right.
But there would have to be a unit outside, though.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a
so
small unit about the size of a suitcase.
It's a heat pump and an AC unit.
is that something that needs to be enclosed in the RTC? Because it says HVAC.
Well, like an air conditioning unit, you could actually just put like a little hidden space around it and some landscaping. It's attached to the wall. And we could get it black, the same color as the building, you really wouldn't see it.
I also have a question with regard to the placement of the septic systems, and I'm not sure.
Right, well,
But
that's gonna be something that's gonna have to depend on what the septic company says, and I've reached out to them numerous times.
And what Adams County would
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's Adams County.
indicate because of the number of units.
Yep, we're doing one per house.
Placement of septic in RTC has to be where?
I believe it says it's supposed to be in the back of your building, which they are in the back of the building, but she's,
They're on the streets area.
It
But-
specifies that septic fields
Why
can be
don't you ask
located in the rear or side yards, but shared septic systems are subject to state and county regulations.
Yeah.
So,
I won't
depends
be
on,
doing any shared, they'll all be on individual.
then it'd have to be in the rear or side.
Which is what
In-
this shows.
Well, and I'm hoping that you would give some leeway to where the septic expert would want them, and not in sight of, you know,
So your front.
I don't want someone to pull up and look at a big old septic mound either. I want it to be landscaped and flow with the rest of the neighborhood.
Are you gonna have a building for check-in purposes, or like you said that there's a possibility of sales of a rental?
So I did put a shed on there, which also contained where the garbage dumpster would be. So that's gonna have some flex space, so extra materials for the, you know, the development, maybe there'd be a lawnmower in there, maybe there would be rentals of snowshoes and that kind of thing out of there. And that's towards the back entrance, or towards the exit, it's one way, so that people that, you know, like the garbage dumpster wouldn't have to come through the whole neighborhood.
And that would be the only area where you would have the dumpster?
Yep.
And it's private, you're gonna utilize private,
Yeah.
refuse? Okay.
Question?
yeah. On this page here,
I'm sorry, I don't have a copy to look at with you.
it says the Nano 430.
Okay, yep, that is.
I'm just looking at, it says footprint, 12 by 36. But when I turn the page forward here, the two options you're giving us,
Right, these are the container homes that I'm working on with them to develop those. This would be an option for prefab. I wanted to give you an idea of what prefab would be. I have no idea if that will work. They have not made any yet. So I'm really going on this, but I just wanted to give you some insight as to.
these are the ones you're talking
Those
to us
are.
tonight.
Yes,
Okay.
but I also wanted to say for future, so when we have this discussion in the future, this is an option that I'm thinking about for,
When I go to
yep,
this page,
yes.
correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we have a 24-foot width minimum in the business zoning? So that would sort of eliminate this option?
But what if I'm putting a side deck to the whole portion with the screened-in area? Does that include the footprint?
Livable space, or, it would,
We don't have to go there now, I'm just, wasn't sure what I was looking at in her packet. Tonight, she's talking to us about the other side of that page. And on that respect, we have 16 and 12, which is 26, 27, 28. And they appear to be how long?
40 feet,
Okay, so then,
plus the deck on the front.
I was just looking at
Yep.
that page
Well,
where it
those are
said
good things to
footprint.
bring up, because I don't wanna go down that road of wanting to get one if it's not gonna be accepted. So that's kind of the conversation I wanted to have tonight.
I'm a little confused with regard to the definitions of, in RTC, a deck and a porch. Is that two different, entirely different things with regard to the design standards? And I had read that there would be no screened-in porches. And if that's something that you are anticipating, is that going to be an issue with regard to zoning in RTC?
I don't know if I'm reading it wrong too, but I thought that meant on the front. I thought I read that somewhere, that you couldn't have a screened-in porch on the front. But again, I read through so many of those too.
Me too.
So.
Is there a 24-foot building, minimum building width in?
I don't believe in their sub-district there is.
Okay.
There's just for an accessory structure, there's actually a max of 24. And then for porches, there is quite a lot. Do you want me to read the entirety of it to you guys, or just?
Can you just let me know if there's an issue with regard to what she's proposing in there?
It just says porches need to be at least 60% of the width of the front elevation, with a minimum of 6 feet in depth, and then that porch roofs can be pitched or flat, and then if they're pitched, it's 4-inch rise for every 12 inches of run. And there's different things about the actual shape or appearance of them. It says that they're intended to be open, and it says screens and glazing are not permitted, so. So it could not be screened in.
I understand how that reads. We're gonna fall into gray areas a lot. That was wrote, take my wife's building, the gift shop. We have a porch on it. Yes, the town doesn't want that screened in. They want open air porches for that. Now, we're implying that same exact language to, you see where I'm,
It was meant for a commercial building type exterior as opposed to a
A
residential.
resort.
Yeah, and it's gonna be,
Resort that's
and I
being
wanna
built
say it
in
will
an
be
area we
set
just
back
redistricted.
underneath, like that video I sent you. So the first portion of it's gonna be open, and then the back portion will be closed in.
I think before we get into the real nitty-gritty of the specifics of this, we're looking at this being a resort that we just did a redistricting for. And
Right.
something like a screen porch may be a reconsideration
Sure.
of what she's trying to build.
We can put it on the findings of fact, couldn't we? Making it allowable for this
Correct.
kind of a use.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
And also given the fact that we also are addressing some of these things in a subcommittee that we're gonna be looking at modifying some of this code for.
Do you have like a timeline with regard to,
The porch, no.
no, I mean,
Oh.
the whole development?
Well, my plan is to start the infrastructure this winter, and then also start the builds, and then have them ready to plop on and ready for spring. So it depends on where they're at, the container company, where they're at in their process, and how many that they have, and even just getting them to get, the plans done. You have to get in line to have that done.
I thought I heard something like you wanted.
yeah, but we're gonna have discussion again, so.
With regard to the roadway that you've got going through there, it's a one-way.
Yes.
And you say paved on this?
My
Is
question
it like
is-
a hard surface kind of a?
I'd rather do the crushed gray gravel. That's just the feel of the development that I would prefer to have. Especially going from the main drive to the individual homes.
And again, I perceive that as being a driveway as she has it on her drawing as part of the resort. It's
Yep.
not a roadway off of a main road.
Correct.
It's a private driveway within a resort
Yeah.
versus a roadway that the town is responsible for maintaining.
Oh, yeah.
She's responsible for it within her resort. And it goes through around the different
And
units, the way
gravel
it's drawn
frequently
there.
throws you, makes you slow down.
It makes you
much more
slow
than
down, drive
pavement.
slower, people aren't,
You're not gonna ding your car.
but then as far,
Makes
that
sense.
would be a question I would have then, if somebody brings a ATV, UTV, or cars, they parking next to the units, or are they gonna park in a
There-
parking,
there's a
are you
little,
gonna have a?
yeah, there's a little parking space
Did I-
right at
did
the
I miss that?
entrance to the
Okay,
side.
Amy, I'm sorry.
Yep, no, it's
My
good.
apologies to you.
And that little parking
lot,
space
yes,
is
you did
for,
have it on there,
Yeah,
my fault.
For, if someone comes in with a boat trailer or something, they wanna
Okay.
park there or,
Right at the entrance.
yeah, just off to the side.
Off of your driveway, your one-way driveway,
Yeah,
that'll
and
make
for,
people
those,
slow
that's also
down,
like the employee area that I'm required to have.
especially if there's younger people, children or something, walking through on the, okay. The other question I do wanna bring up, and maybe, Attorney Flanagan can help us address this, cause it was brought up on one of the documents by our Public Works, Director, is the jut out in the, right-of-way for Anawa Court. There needed to be some clarification on that with the CSM and the additional land and how that would be addressed, because there was an option for the land going the other direction. There was a document here where he signed off on it as long as we addressed it for that jut out. It goes into Anawa Court.
Cause Animal Court could be extended.
Probably not in our lifetime, but at some point, but I know that Lake Arrowhead land's behind there, so I don't know why that, there's Lake Arrowhead land behind there, I don't know that Anna Court would ever go through. I could be wrong, I don't have a map
So,
in front of me, but
Was that
please.
sold?
couple thoughts.
Yes.
So, first off, there hasn't been a CSM that's actually been done
Official,
or approved.
okay.
We can reflect certain right-of-way, designations in that CSM that can be described on the CSM. Also, how we orient that lot, and parcel can be adjusted a little bit to comply with, what was approved by the town board to sell and how it's oriented in that location. There's a little bit of an option there, but I think, we can reflect some of the right-of-way considerations, in the CSM by probably denoting it on the CSM as right-of-way.
Okay, and that can include the verification if there's land that would even allow Anawa Court to ever even go through, because I think that's Lake Arrowhead land back there.
Yeah, certainly
Okay.
that can be part of the survey, the CSM review process.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Okay.
any other questions? Thank you very much.
I think I did have one question, and it was about the driveway, the one way where it comes off the exit. Now, that is in a shoreland area, so I just wanna make sure no one has really been able to tell me if I can put a driveway through that. I can put a house on it, I can put one house on it, so I assume I can put a driveway through there. But that's just one thing that, would change the whole site if I wasn't able to do that. So I just wanna make sure that I'm telling you everything that I've tried to find and haven't found.
Have you received an answer from the county on that?
They
If
said to
it's
go
in
to,
shoreline?
they said to go to you.
So they have no position on that?
No, the only thing that they're saying is I can't have more than one house in that area. And the shed is allowable. But they said that they don't have anything to do with driveways. So that was from Dustin. I have a whole
Local road.
email list of that
Local
from
road.
him.
Yeah, I guess if they don't have a position on impervious surface or, changing those things in the shoreline, okay.
I don't know why it's there, but apparently it came up on the map.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this? Okay, we have a couple of people.
I'd like to make a quick
Oh, wait,
comment.
one,
Go ahead.
yes.
I would just like to bring also to your attention that with transient lodging like that, there is potential for our building inspector to potentially add things too that she might need or look for.
Right, and I did speak to her, so.
Just to keep that in mind.
Yeah. She said she was more concerned about like insulation and those types of things.
And commercial inspections and things, okay.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon, evening, whatever it might be by this time. Doug Barr with Marsan Inc. and Permar, the property just to the north of where these will be going in. Just wanted to make sure that she is aware that she is going to be next to a manufacturing facility with these things. That will, in the near future, maybe be bringing you plans for a new warehouse on the south side of our property that would abut up to that property line or close to it. Of course, that's been our plan all along, and we are having exponential growth years every single year. This one being no exception.
Good thing.
As long as that is understood, I mean, there's going to be semis moving through there, and like there is now, and it just seems that every time I come to these meetings, we're knocking off properties closer and closer to us, and this is keeping the owner up at great lengths at night of someday the town's just gonna ask us to leave. Now, I've reinforced the idea that that's not going to happen. They like tax money like anyone else does. But these developments like this do frighten her, and that's why I'm here representing her to get backbone from you guys, a reassurance of that we in our manufacturing capability are not in a danger there.
I've never heard noise coming out of that plant, ever.
I haven't worked that much in the plant recently, so it's been
So,
quiet.
and I don't think a warehouse would have any effect on what she's planning on doing.
Unless you're pulling in at 2 a.m. in the morning and.
I do have trucks come in early for
That's right,
deliveries.
at night, yeah.
Yeah, and they do stay there, so, there's those types of activities that are happening now. Will it get more noisy? I highly doubt it. Will there be a warehouse? I truly believe there will in the near future.
You have 13 acres there, she's aware of that. She bought next to 13
Exactly,
acres, right?
exactly.
She bought abutting to the
And if
13
their
acres.
production is increasing, we're running out of warehouse space within the facility the way it was set up now.
Yeah, we sure are.
So-
We sure are.
And just to ease the owners, her site plan of operation does not affect yours, just like your site plan of operation will not affect hers.
Okay,
So they're two
that's
separate
big right
entities.
there.
Yeah.
That's very good and big. I mean,
I think
we
we've
enjoy
made a-
being where we're at, we're watching it grow, we're helping it grow, and, still wanna be a part of this, so.
And I can't speak for the town, but I think the town has made a commitment to Permar that we are not closing you guys off
Good.
at all, ever.
Good. And we'll keep employing local people. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
the other thing that could be related to that comment would be, we do have regulations in our ordinance that do require certain buffering standards between different sub-districts, which this would be. So you can take some of that into consideration
At
when
the
you
time.
look at approving that site plan to make sure that there's adequate buffering to allow for compatibility between those sub-districts.
Is there anyone else? Did you wish to?
I don't know exactly who to ask questions to. My name
Good.
is Cheryl Kopchak.
Yes.
I live directly across the street from where you want to put your subdivision. I don't know what this is supposed to look like, when it's done, because I haven't seen the plans, of course, that you guys have seen. Is there a lot size or whatever for each container that they would put in? I mean, in some subdivisions, you have to have so much per, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is the case in the town center. So I don't know if there's a property requirement for each unit, or if there's a size, well, you were talking about size limits on the containers
She purchased
themselves.
10 acres, Cheryl,
Mhm.
and each unit was limited when the CDA made the sale. 6 units total on 10 acres.
Can you
6
interact?
units on 10?
Can you interact?
Can you what?
She's asking questions as, okay, never mind.
I'm sorry.
We're still in
Okay,
the
I'm
hearing.
sorry if I just don't know who to ask the
We're
questions
still in the
to.
hearing portion.
Oh, that's right, we're still in the hearing, so that would be for the next portion, that's
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry. Okay,
correct.
well,
I'm
who-
sorry.
Who would I ask questions to then?
Us at the next.
Oh, the next part?
Well,
we have,
Only if the
we're in
chair
the hearing
acknowledges her.
portion.
Yeah,
We have to
okay,
wait
I-
and answer.
okay.
The questions you're directing to
Mhm.
us would be part of the next section.
Part of the next section.
Sorry.
And
Okay, that's okay,
It's
I get
been
it.
a long time
I
already,
get it, I
sorry.
just don't know exactly the
Yeah, just say, does she
protocol
even
here
have
for
a copy?
everything.
Not speaking out of turn, am I, Mr.?
Well, if she has
The chair-
concerns, she can raise them during
Right.
this period,
Right.
and you would take that into consideration and
The next
poten-
time.
potentially discuss them
Okay.
during
I
your
spoke out
dis-
of turn,
during
I
your
apologize.
Okay, no, that's okay, I get it, I mean, we're trying to work our way through it as best we can. And then is there any way that I can see that before I go? I mean, what she has given to you?
I just gave it when I.
Oh, okay, all right, thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay,
I make a motion, we take a 5-minute recess.
I would agree.
Thank you.
okay, we're getting old. We
you
need to take a
second that?
5-minute
I will second
recess.
that.
All right, all, can you call in all in favor, please?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Oh, I need a couple more Tylenol. The getting up part is the hard part.
Tell me about
Hopefully that will never be necessary.
I call the meeting back to order.
Where's the gavel?
Come on. We're going back in session.
And at this point, I would like to close the public hearing.
Motion, close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Jerry, second by Lori to close the public hearing. The public hearing is closed. Discuss impossible,
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and possible action on the following items. Approval of the meeting minutes from Tuesday, August 13th, 2024.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second motion.
Give it to Heather. Okay. I have a motion by Jerry, second by Heather to approve the minutes.
I have one correction. On the very back page or last page, the second sentence needs to be changed so it's grammatically correct. And I offered Alexi some suggestions this afternoon. It says discussion on codifying the STR/cup process to make be done possibly more internal.
Taylor, what did you want that to read as?
I agreed to have, I proofread her minutes and then I agreed with what you said too, so.
Okay. That's fine. So,
Okay, would you like to amend your motion?
Amend my motion to accept the correction.
Second.
Okay, second. Motion made by Jerry to approve the minutes with the correction suggested by Bill and seconded by Heather. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Discussion and possible action. Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose: the short-term rental at the property located at 147 West Walden Way, owned by Tony and Josh Wills, also described as Lot 36 of Walden Pines addition to Lake Camelot, located at the southwest 1/4, southeast 1/4, Section 3, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300657700000.
I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for the short-term rental at the property at 147 West Walden Way with the findings of fact and all the the findings of fact as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jerry, seconded by Tom, to issue the conditional use permit for 147 West Walden Way, incorporating the findings of fact. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Discussion and possible action. Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose: the short-term rental at the property located at 455 Duffers Trail, owned by Dean Ramsden, DBA Sand Dunes Lodge, also described as Lot 1 of CSM 6183, located in the northeast 1/4, southwest 1/4, Section 20, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300281900010.
I'll move that we approve the short-term rental, or approve for consideration the issuance of a conditional use permit for the short-term rental for the property located at 455 Duffers Trail, owned by Deems Ramsden, doing business as Sand Dunes Lodge, with the findings of fact to be adopted, including proper screening of waste disposal. That was the one with the receptacle at the end of the driveway.
Yeah.
Second motion.
Motion made by Lori, seconded by Heather, to approve the conditional use permit for 455 Duffers Trail, incorporating the finding of fact, showing a condition, additional condition, that the refuse container have proper screening. Any discussion? My discussion would be the proper screening aspect of it. He had suggested that he would take it out of the views, but the screening, probably would be better, right, than just taking, because he said he could move the container behind a row of trees or something to hide it from the street.
Put a screen in front of it. I'll screen in front of it.
Okay,
Thank you, Dean.
all right. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible action, consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose: the short-term rental at the property located at 965 Wellington Court, owned by Karen Saminsky and Ann E. Hovell, also described as Lot 53 of Wellington addition to Lake Camelot, located in the southeast 1/4, northwest 1/4, section 10, town 20 north, range 6 east, town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 03006698000.
I'll move approval of conditional use permit for the property located at 965 Wellington Court, along with the findings of fact as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion by Bill, seconded by Tom, to approve the conditional use permit for the property located at 965 Wellington Court, with the incorporation of the findings of fact as presented. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Permits in, okay?
She left, so we'll
Oh,
leave
she
the
did.
signature tomorrow. It's okay.
Okay. Discussion and possible action, consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose: the short-term rental at the property located at 1572 Kingswood Trail, owned by Jennifer Halpap, DBA Back Nine Rentals LLC, also described as Lot 1 of CSM 6342, located in the southwest 1/4, northwest 1/4, section 14, town 20 north, range 5 east, town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 030-03514-0010.
I'll move to approve consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following short-term rental at the property located at 1572 Kingswood Trail.
You skipped the one before, it should be at 351.
Oh,
Sorry.
what did I say?
Oh,
We're on.
but I did read Kingswood Trail.
Yes.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
can we continue with Kingswood or back up to 14th? It's up to,
You can continue with Kingswood and then go back and catch the other one.
It would be just fine.
okay.
Yeah, I'm in
Just don't
agreement.
forget the other one.
Forget what?
Don't forget the other one before, please.
So are we on 1572 Kingswood Trail?
Yes, we are. Sorry, that's my fault.
Because I'm all prepped for this now.
Okay, go ahead.
All
Go
right.
for it.
And with adopting the findings of fact, to include a property manager that is within, specified property manager that is within 25 miles, as Oxford is 51 miles from the town of Rome.
Can I amend that friendly? I want a list of all the potential managers submitted to the town in the order in which they should be called. Because they said there were multiple people that they would want to contact. And so if that's gonna be the case, then we need a listing of them all and in the order in which that manager should be called, first, second, third, fourth. And there were several others coming up that have the same thing.
Well, Jennifer had stated that they would be the main property manager and they would be in Oxford 6
Right.
months out of the year, but Oxford is 51 miles away from here, and I know that
There's a
for-
neighbor across the street that she mentioned, which is closer, who she
Okay.
would contact, but then if that doesn't happen, she mentioned there were multiple others.
Okay, so if
That's
she
why I
can
wrote it
turn
right
those
on my
names,
findings of
okay, that,
fact during the-
I'm willing to amend my first if they can provide names
So
that are
listen,
closer.
We just want a list of all the people that are supposed to be responding as a property manager in the order in which they should be called.
Okay, I'm willing to amend my first, if she can supply those names to our zoning administrator.
Did anyone second that?
Bill did a friendly amendment. He
I'll
made the
second it.
second with the friendly
I'll
amendment.
second the
Oh,
amendment,
okay.
make the friendly
All right.
amendment.
So,
Did you ask her if she, okay. Understood, everybody understood that, yeah.
motion's been made by Lori and seconded by Bill to approve the conditional use permit for 1572 Kingswood Trail, incorporating the findings of fact with the additional condition being placed that there will be a list of additional contacts, managers within 25-mile radius, along with phone numbers provided to the town of Rome
In the order in which.
in
they
the
should-
order in which they should be called. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Now, motion carries. I keep forgetting to say that. I know. Okay, we are going back to discussion and possible action, consideration of the issuance of a consolidated use permit for the following purpose. The short-term rental at the property located at 351 14th Avenue, owned by Kettle on the Lake LLC, also described as Lot 1 of Shimmering Waters addition to Lake Arrowhead, located in the southeast 1/4, northeast 1/4, and northeast 1/4, northeast 1/4, Section 13, Town 20 North, Range 5 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 03004304000. We have to make a motion. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for a short-term rental at property 351 14th Avenue, with the findings of fact as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jerry, seconded by Heather to approve the conditional use permit for the property located at 351 14th Avenue, incorporating the findings of fact as presented. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Discussion and possible action.
Wait, he's gotta sign those papers. Sir, can you please come back? You have to.
Thank you. Discussion and possible action, consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose. The short-term rental at the property located at 1005 Moore Court, owned by Eric Kundinger, DBA Hidden Sands LLC, also described as Lot 37 of Longbow addition to Lake Sherwood, located in the southeast 1/4, Section 16, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 03002245000.
I'll make a motion that we consider the issuance of a conditional use permit for the property located at 1005 Moore Court to include the findings of fact as presented with the addition of getting a list of potential managers that need to be contacted and the order in which they should be called. Their phone numbers in the order should be called. And it's 28 miles to Clover. From the residents. That's why we need a list. Yeah.
I'll second. I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made by Bill, seconded by Lori, to approve the issuance of a conditional use permit for the property located at 1005 Moore Court with the findings of fact as presented with the inclusion that potential managers be provided to the town of Rome with their phone numbers and an order in which they should be called. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Discussion and possible action. Consideration of the issuance of a conditional use permit for the following purpose. The short-term rental at the property located at 1678 Archer Avenue, owned by Duggan Sand Valley LLC, also described as Lot 8 of Archer Forest, located in the southeast 1/4, southwest 1/4, Section 22, Town 20 North, Range 5 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300126500040.
I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for a property at 1678 Archer Avenue with the findings of fact changed to the maximum occupancy of 12 and a maximum number of vehicles as 8.
I will second that.
Our ordinance is supposed to be 2 people for every 1 car, so it should be 6 cars.
Well, he had room for 8, so I,
Well, either way.
26 is just too many.
I happen to agree with what Lexi's saying, though, in case they would happen to bring recreational vehicles, but it's, yes,
Well, he even said he's only advertising for 12.
Can we get a second we can discuss?
I second
Tom
it.
seconded.
Oh, you did, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
I didn't hear you.
That's fine.
You gotta
I've been
speak up,
quiet
Tom.
tonight.
I know. Okay. So I have a motion by Jerry and a second by Tom to approve the conditional use permit for 1678 Archer Avenue, incorporating the findings of fact with occupancy being 12, with the change of occupancy being 12 and number of vehicles being 8. Do I have any other discussion?
Yes, the gentleman left. Is he not here for any more?
Questions? No, he's gone.
He would still need to sign it, so if this passes, it would be prepared and he'd be contacted, and he'd come in and sign it before the short-term rental license would be issued.
He did put on here proposed term of conditional use would be 100 years. Normally we put indefinite. Either way, it's indefinite, so, but
Just,
it's rather in
just a question, Nick. If we approve this and he comes in to sign and he's not happy, does he have it? That's,
Then we might put it over to the next meeting and ask you all to reconsider it based off of his presence here
that's
at the
fine.
next meeting and explaining why he would need more. I think he stated during the public hearing that he's advertising this as 12, and the most they've had parked there were 8. So I think that's in line with what.
yeah, I'm just wondering if he has any recourse afterwards, that's all.
If he was not agreeable to that, we could put him on the next meeting for your possible reconsideration.
would he pay for another public hearing?
It wouldn't go to another public hearing.
No.
It would
Okay.
just be an action item, not
Okay.
a public hearing.
Okay. Then I think you got a first and a second on that.
The people that were talking also were concerned about the floodlights and outdoor music. And I know we do have the ordinances with regard to sound or noise. I don't know if there's additional restrictions we might want to place on this. I believe they have outdoor
I
speakers.
think they have to abide by the ordinances,
Yeah.
like anybody else. And if they violate them, then they have to get reported. I don't think you can change it just for one property.
No.
Is there anything we can do as far as a permitting process, since it is an LLC, that it
Well,
has to
the
be?
question I had was,
As a business.
he mentioned he was using it as a business, and I heard something about a business license, and he's on record.
As an
Should we be
LLC.
pursuing that avenue?
He should be receiving one, depending on what he's doing, as Nick said earlier.
This is
but we
consideration
don't-
for a short-term rental.
Yeah.
However, he went on record during testimony
Mhm.
that he was using it for business purposes.
Yeah, we don't have one currently for that.
And he does not have a permit.
Not currently.
Therefore, I think there's two things going on here. You can approve the short-term rental, but I think we should be pursuing the business license with this gentleman as well.
Didn't he say entertaining clients? And
That's
it
a
doesn't
business.
require consideration being exchanged between the people that are there and the person that's to make it a
I guess
business?
Where I'm at in my mind when I heard that, because we have a number of LLCs, you see them all the time with short-term rentals, so I just caution you to
Okay.
that piece of it. However, where I was going with it when I gave the answer I did was, are we dealing with a home-based occupation or some kind of requirements that we may have if this is getting into more of a commercial space? I think we can review that with this individual, pursue that if needed, but that would be outside of probably the bounds of.
Our
Okay.
purview.
Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah,
would know
the
if
short-term
that-
rental is
it-
separate from that.
Yeah, because it was advertised on a social media platform as some sort of like day arcade rental type thing, but that would, again, not necessarily be there. That'd be more my problem.
All right, so can we make that a finding of fact that we turn that, or we just let her
No,
deal with
No,
that?
it's a
no,
separate
that's
issue.
Separate
Alright,
entirely.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, where were we?
We got 12 people, 8 vehicles.
Okay, and we have our discussion. Any more discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we get on to the good stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff.
Discussion and possible action, consideration of an amendment to the site plan of operation for Lake Camelot Property Owners Association, Inc., DBA Lake Camelot Lodge LLC, to expand the current operations at 298 Leisure Lane, also described as Lot 74 of Chester Addition to Lake Camelot, located in southwest 1/4, southeast 1/4, Section 9, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300522200000.
Madam Chair, just two things. Number one, recall again that this is not an amendment, just when you're making your motion. And then the second is, all three of these, numbers 17, 18, and 19, would be recommendations to the town board. If you
Right.
can build that into your motion, please.
Okay, then I'll move that we,
But there are findings of fact, correct?
Yes, you still have to adopt that,
Okay,
but yeah.
all right,
yeah.
okay.
I'll move that we make a recommendation to the town board for approval of the site plan of operation for the Lake Camelot Property Owners Association, Inc., doing business as the Lake Camelot Lodge LLC, is that right? Okay, to expand their current operations at 298 Leisure Lane, also described as Lot 74 of Chester Addition to Lake Camelot, with adopting the finding of facts, including working with their neighbors on screening, appropriate colors to match the other buildings. And that was the only ones that I remember, correct?
I'll second that.
Okay.
Motion made
And
by,
keep the pizzas, keep the current pizzas. Can't choose pizza. Okay, now I'm done.
what did you say about colors? I'm sorry.
I was more concerned with pizza. Pick up
It's
the- no.
appropriate, so
It's
it would be
separate
colors
time.
appropriate to be complementary to the other buildings.
The other buildings, correct. I'm sorry, I'm getting loopy now. And they had to, work with neighbors on screening as they said they would, cause there was a
There was a
concern
second.
about screening. Was there anything else that I missed for findings of fact? Okay. Did you think of something, Tom, or any?
No, I
other-
was gonna say, is there any septic system being updated with the added patrons that you're gonna be having
We're working
with
through that
Adams
right
County on that?
Yep.
And all the stuff will be properly filed and filled out? Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, cause they're in Shoreland, they gotta do that with
That-
Dustin, yeah.
That's,
Who
we're good.
seconded? Jerry, did you second?
Yep.
Jerry said-
Okay. All right, a motion was made by Lori and seconded by Jerry to make a recommendation to the town board to approve the site plan of operation for the Lake Camelot Property Owners Association, Inc., DBA Lake Camelot Lodge LLC, to expand the current operations at 298 Leisure Lane. Do I have any other discussion? Oh, with the, incorporating the findings of fact, and that the association is to work with their neighbors relative to proper screening, and that the colors are appropriate to complement the other buildings. Do I have any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? No. Motion carries. Thank you.
Good luck. Looking forward to it.
Should we come over for some pizza?
Something we can all enjoy.
Tonight?
Had them from pizza
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Oh, 8
You wanna
o'clock.
play bingo? You can come.
Okay.
We'll make it.
No, we have to.
Okay, so I got that one done. Okay, now we're gonna go to Mr. Plato.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Did Mr. Plato leave?
He left.
Discussion and possible action, consideration of an amendment to the site plan of operation for Plato Construction LLC Geneva Apartments to make updates to previous plans to reflect current operations at 265 Geneva Trail, also described as Lot 2 of CSM 6524, located in the northeast 1/4, southwest 1/4, Section 8, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin, with a parcel number of 0300113600609.
Madam Chair, I'd like to hold this item until we receive an updated site plan that's accurate.
I'll second.
I'll reach out to him again, because I did ask him to provide copies as the ordinance stated, and what he gave me was in the packet.
Okay, I have a, yeah, I have them copied.
I have an accurate site plan and.
I have a motion made by Bill and seconded by Diana to postpone this action until we have an accurate site plan of operation. Any other discussion?
Yeah. Did you, who reached out to him to even, because I'm sure he didn't just come.
I did, because we noticed that, because he was supposed to come back in March, which is when he initially gave me that application, as you see in the packet, because he had significant changes to his parcel that were not denoted on his previous site plans.
Okay.
So we have been trying to get him back in here since then. So then I told him he needed to come to August or September. So he chose to come to September. When he came in, I asked him if he wanted to make any updates to what we have, and he didn't provide me with any new information. And then I informed him that he needed to provide 7 copies, so that each one of you has a copy, since that is part of the ordinance, that if you come in, you need to provide copies for everyone. So, and I gave you guys what I was given.
So you're cleaning up files, basically, and getting everything up to date. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get things in order,
No,
because there's a lot of
that's-
loose ends.
Well, in order to approve it, it has to be accurate. That's my point.
Yep.
Right, and I would agree with you on that too. I just was wondering why because I knew he didn't come in on his own to present.
So it's a housekeeping.
Housekeeping matter.
Yes, trying my hardest to get everything that was in progress finished, so that
You're-
when new things come, it's not a big pile.
No, you're fine. So he just has to do some updating and then we'll approve it. So
If I
at this,
may, it honestly started back with the previous zoning administrator, and there's zoning ordinance violations. So that is where there's that part of it.
Yes, that too. So it's kind of complicated, because he needs to come here, but on his property, he has violations actively occurring there's things on his property that, like, shouldn't be happening in Rome Town Center, and so,
So this has
Would
been going
you-
on since March.
If he comes back,
before then.
you need to tell us if there's any zoning violations on the site plan that he provides.
Yep.
Okay.
I can give you, I'll give you the ordinance, and I can highlight exactly what is
I
currently.
think we should have the whole picture before we make a decision.
Yep, I can do that.
Okay,
No, I'll state a concern as long as there's discussion that by postponing this again, it's giving him more time, correct? If this has been going on since March?
Technically January.
Yeah, previously, yes,
January?
because he got informed in January that he needed to come. He came in, paid for a site plan in March, didn't come to that meeting, and then has been pushing it off up until the point where I told him he needed to come to a meeting.
Then maybe I should make a friendly amendment that he return to the next meeting with an accurate site plan and plan of operation. And if he does not, then we go from there. Is that a better solution to what you're
I don't
concerned
know.
about?
What is Nick's opinion on, or what does Nick suggest that we do?
I figured we were talking about next meeting, because I think that map that he brought, he said he had provided to the town at some point.
All he's gotta do is
All
produce
we
it.
need to do is reflect that map into some kind of attachment that can be sent to you all for consideration, so there really isn't a whole lot of work that needs to be done to get this back to you.
No.
For consideration, but I agree with you, we should have the accurate one on file. It's what we
Yes.
reference when we look back and see what exactly we approved and whether or not it's in conformance.
All right.
any other discussion? The motion, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No? Motion carries. Okay, discussion and possible action, consideration, I bet you thought we'd never get to you, right?
Save the best for
Consideration of a site plan, plan of operation for Scenic Valley Properties LLC DBA Creighton Pines for construction and operation of a container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within Rome Town Center, described as follows, being part of parcel number 030-01136-0501, located in part of the northwest 1/4, and northeast 1/4, northwest 1/4 of Section 17, Town 20 North, Range 6 East, Town of Rome, Adams County, Wisconsin.
I'll move that we approve for,
I do have one clarification I would like to make on the site plan when we were talking about the driveway.
Yes, I-
Clarification. Where I have it marked paved, I thought that it needed to be, but I'd rather not. I'd rather do the crushed granite gravel, so if I could just get your confirmation on that.
I would defer to the zoning administrator, I think we can do that. I hear from the finance department.
Are the parking areas still going to be paved?
So the parking, that 150-foot mark, is right?
As long as you
Let's do
can,
that at discussion, can we do that at the
Yes.
motions discussion time, please? I'll move that we recommend to the town board, correct, Nick? Recommend to the town board for approval, the site plan of operation for Scenic Valley Properties LLC, doing business as Creighton Pines for construction and operation of a container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within the Rome Town Center, described as follows. Being part of a parcel,
Nope.
Okay. All right. With findings of fact to include the driveway as crushed gravel.
I'd like to do a friendly amendment.
Well, make your
Last
second
100
and then, make your second and then
I'll make a
whatever.
second and then ask for an amendment to your motion. Because I like the crushed gravel idea, except for the last 150 feet, so you're not driving gravel out onto our road.
Oh, and I don't have a
And
problem
making
with
it a
that,
hazard.
because that's where the garbage truck is gonna have to come in anyway. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. It just makes it
Yeah.
cleaner for us.
And what makes it easier for me too is while I'm doing all this construction, I won't be disturbing all that expensive.
You're reading me loud and clear.
What?
I said you're reading me loud and clear.
Yep.
How many feet?
150.
Where her parking is?
No,
Yeah, that's
at
where
the
her
exit.
parking.
I said where the exit is.
The exit.
Exit, last 150 feet of the exit road, so they're not dragging gravel out onto
heard
our
that part.
Iowa that we have to clean out and sweep.
Parking has to be paved.
Yes. Per
Parking has to
ordinances,
be
it has
paved
to
as
be
well,
paved.
right? She said that.
Yep.
I thought all driveways in Rome Town Center need to be paved too.
No?
This is a resort, and we're making considerations for a resort. This isn't necessarily a normal situation within the Rome Town Center. We discussed that earlier during the hearing.
Well, we're asking that the
Do we have
parking
a-
be paved, which is.
Let's have a motion in a second, then we can
We
discuss.
did.
We did. It's
I
the only
haven't- I
amendment to the
haven't.
thing, to the motion is to add 150 foot of pavement at the exit of the gravel road.
I could also add it to the entrance.
Can we have, let her.
I
can we
have
make-
to announce it.
I know you do, and people keep talking, and I made my motion, but he made his friendly amendment, and that she keep, so can we do this right, please?
Go ahead.
Are we ready?
I don't know, ask them.
I'm asking
Well, you started. go
I
ahead.
made my motion.
Okay, Lori made a motion and Bill seconded it to make a recommendation to the board to approve the site plan of operation for Scenic Valley Properties, DBA Crate and Pines, for construction and operation of a container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within the Rome Town Center, incorporating the findings of facts.
And my motion allowed for a gravel driveway. Bill's second.
With the incorporating the findings of fact with attaching additional requirements or conditions of the driveway being crushed gravel. And except for the last 150 feet, which would be paved, of the exit area of the driveway, and the parking lot will be paved as well.
So technically, there was a motion and a second that didn't have that last part.
Oh,
and
sorry.
afterwards
So
there
I'm
was a
gonna withdraw
request.
my motion, and I would like to start over then, because there was too much conversation on my
Well,
original
okay.
motion, so I'm going
Just
to
go ahead.
withdraw it. So do you wanna withdraw your amended second, please?
I'll withdraw it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I
So-
hear a motion?
I will make my motion again for the recommendation to the town board for the site plan of operation for Scenic Valley Properties LLC doing business as Creighton Pines for the construction and operation of a container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within the Rome Town Center, including the findings of fact, also including allowance for a paved driveway within the resort plus paved entranceway and parking at the entrance of 150 feet with the parking lot, and an exit of 150 feet on Anawa Court.
Center line driveway.
Paved, the second part, the paved,
I added,
150 feet
yes.
of exit area
That way where she has her,
on Anawa Court.
yes. So she has parking at the beginning, and there would be paved entrance off of Geneva Trail, like other businesses. She would have gravel within the resort area to allow for the rustic feel. But then she'd have 150 feet of paved exit area where the waste receptacles are.
I'll second.
One moment, we're looking up something real quick.
No, you don't have to interrupt.
A motion has been made by Lori, seconded by Bill, to make a recommendation to the town board to approve the site plan of operation for Scenic Valley Properties LLC DBA Creighton Pines for construction and operation of a container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within Rome Town Center, incorporating the findings of fact with the additional conditions that there be allowance for paved driveway in the
In the resort.
in the resort, that the entrance off Geneva Trail is to be paved
Correct, with the parking lot.
with the parking lot, and there will be 150 feet of paved driveway off the exit area onto Anawa Court. The remainder would be crushed gravel.
To allow for the rustic feel of the resort.
To allow for the rustic feel of the resort.
Madam Chair,
Any,
Now if I may, just so I can clarify a couple statements. We do have a requirement for, hard surface paved, dust-free and properly marked for driveways and parking areas. Maybe just a recommendation that, so I think we're working within certain, confines of our ordinance and the intended use, but maybe just ensuring that those are dust-free. So however that be operated, it doesn't create dust, or, some of that to the adjacent properties.
is that something that we would have to put in the conditions? Otherwise, it's right there indicating the
Well,
ordinance.
it is, but it's otherwise requiring hard surface paved, and so since you're deviating a bit from it, maybe just putting in that you're allowing that, but that it be operated in a dust-free manner.
How would you allow for dust-free, though? It's within the 10 acres she owns within a rustic resort. So if it's compacted,
My only thought there, my only concern is that we have something on the record so we can make sure that if we do hear from neighboring properties, and we're probably not going to hear from one direction, but we could, that we aren't, that we have some kind of documentation that we expect it be operated in a dust-free manner.
okay.
If it's, that's the only reason that I make the suggestion.
In other words, you can't run ATVs back and forth on the gravel road and create a dust zone.
Okay. Then I can add that to I'll amend my motion to add it, that it be constructed in a dust-free manner.
I'll amend my second.
Do I need to restate it, or can I just add that?
I think he was writing it.
I got it.
I have one other issue that we should possibly address, and that's make sure that there's a buffer area between her property and Mark's Ends.
The Permar property?
Right.
And I would like to also
Yeah, that's
add
it.
possibly that the decking would allow for screen.
I'll amend my motion then to allow for screening on the decks, for screen porches, and buffering on, I'm not so concerned with warehouse buffering if he builds a warehouse, but I am concerned with buffering on the Anawa Court side to the homes.
I think I had 30.
She's got a 30-foot setback.
She's got 30 feet setback in there already,
The
so I think
trees.
she's
And it's gonna be
covered.
more than that.
So she's covered, so I'm not so concerned with the buffering, with the warehousing with Permar, so I would add it though for allowing for the screening for porches and decks.
I'll amend the second to include screening on the porches.
Cause it was in there for the 30 feet setbacks.
Right, it's on there.
So you're not taking Jerry's suggestion with regard to the buffering?
No,
With regard
because
to-
it's already in there, she's got 30-foot setbacks, and if he builds a warehouse, the 30-foot setbacks are already there, and she's gonna leave the pines up.
No,
If
they
he's
don't
building
offer much of a buffer.
warehouse- Huh?
Those pines don't offer much of a buffer.
Well, if he's got a
There's-
warehouse.
We have a requirement between differing zones that we have a buffer between
The districts, the differing
different
districts.
districts, yes.
I would agree, because there are the requirements in that they want buffering between the districts.
So
She
there,
has
there
it in
are
there.
pines over there right now that are not the tall skinny ones, but the more lush pines, and
The White Pines.
Yeah, I'm planning on repurposing those if I can, if they'll live, throughout the space. I don't wanna just take them out, so I can put those around the perimeter.
Just so it meets the ordinance.
We're in discussion.
Yes, so far.
As I look at your map here, is there parking at each of these units too? Because I don't see that
That's the little tiny dash line,
okay.
it's just showing where it's going, so I did have a discussion with my pavement and driveway guy about that.
There's something that says Centerline Drive on each of the properties.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But she does have a parking lot though too.
That would just be for overflow parking or people's
It was
trailers, but
like
not many.
trailers,
You said employees as well.
Okay.
Trailers could be extra visitors, could be anything for parking.
Then, Mike, it's just discussion. Wouldn't it, if you're gonna deviate from the asphalt on the main roadway, saying that it's a resort, wouldn't this work better if we deviated the asphalt next to the units where they park and do the asphalting of the main road? Because we're already trying to deviate her asphalting the whole main road, but then we're gonna make her do all these little chutes to each building. Would it be something to have discussion on, just do the main road? If you want the rustic effect, as some people have said, wouldn't it be more rustic pulling up to your cottage on the gravel than having a swath of gravel? I'm figuring from like the 2 points here, 150 feet, 150 feet. So the main drive in here, what we're talking about currently is having that gravel, but then still make her asphalt each of these coming into the unit, or am I not?
I don't think that was part of it. The
We weren't-
parking that we're
We were not
discussing.
requiring that.
I kind of understand it, because I think what he's trying to say is technically it's a requirement to have both the pavement paved and the parking paved, but you guys are saying gravel pavement drive through, but paved parking spot. I think he was asking for it to be flipped, where it'd be paved through and then gravel parking spots. Right? Am I right?
That's what she originally proposed. A 10-foot pavement,
No,
gravel
that's not what
driveways.
she originally proposed.
And the parking at the front, that was the.
She's
paved.
got
The parking
gravel.
off of, what is that, Geneva Trail?
We didn't take into consideration the parking at the individual units, I don't think, and that's where the confusion is coming in.
I would like it to be all gravel, but then have like, like a cement area from where they would park to the home so that their luggage isn't going up, like this, but have like a nice path that's cement paved or pavers of some kind.
See, I was leaving that up to her with what she said earlier. I was listening, leave it pavers, if she wants to leave it rustic with bricks, whatever she plans to do at the site. I'm looking at the driveway and the parking, so we have blacktop from the road, blacktop to the road, leave it rustic on the driveway, and whatever she wants to do to each site. It's on 10 acres. It's a
So,
resort.
is it 150 entrance, 150 exit?
Yes. Yes.
And the rest would be dust-free manner
Of
paving?
gravel, and then whatever she chooses to do to each individual site. She's gonna have 2 to start, be it bricks, be it pavers, be it concrete, whatever she decides to do that works with each individual unit. Cause those little driveways are in there. As far as a buffer goes next to a warehouse, if people don't mind, if she's gonna have pine trees there and if there's no windows in a warehouse building, if they look out at pine trees in a nice resort with a 30-foot setback and another how many feet to that first one, I don't know that they're gonna really mind looking at a nice little resort home.
Are we just approving the site plan and plan of operation? Are we approving the pictures we have too? Because we don't have exact drawings on those yet. I just want to make sure what we're voting on when we vote. because we don't have exactly what she's going to put onto the homes 1 and 2 yet. She's still doing her research, so I just wanna know what everybody is thinking on that motion, because she said she was meeting with people hoping to tour. We don't have an actual blueprint of them, so.
We have these drawings, 1 and 2. We have this plan right here, picture 1 and 2. We have this floor plan, 1 and 2. So it's kinda like what we approved for the brewery. It's kinda like what was the plan for other buildings. My motion is my motion, I guess. I don't, how much more do we need, Nick?
You could build in that when she settles on the plan that she's choosing, that she has to come back here. I mean, you could build that in, so you review whatever the final design is, and that allows her to continue forward with at least the proposed
Right.
site plan and plan of operation as you reviewed it, and
That would not require the public hearing aspect of it, though.
No.
no, cause you
So,
could build it in as.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody just
She
presented, just materials that would come before us for approval after we approved the site plan of
We've had a
operation.
number of them.
We've done that a lot.
Right.
It would only be if she's like making a large amendment to her plan that she would have to go through the public hearing, but if you guys are having her bring back her final plans, then that wouldn't be.
We've also allowed people like the brewery and other businesses to just allow the zoning administrator to approve them as long as the colors meet with what's in the Rome Town Center guidelines,
Yes,
correct?
yes, you have, yes.
Except that this is different, because there's such a wide variety of prefab containers out there that I think this body should see what it is she wants to put on those maps, because this is gonna start the change in the entire business area. So this is gonna be a first, and I want it to be right. And if you wanna go ahead and prove it without seeing it, I'm not gonna vote for it. I won't. I can't. I went and spent a half hour this afternoon just looking at prefab containers. And there's a wide, she'll tell you, there's a wide spectrum out there, and there's some that look like crap.
Well, I can tell you, I'm all about looking at
And I understand that, but I think this body has to be assured of that before they make their approval. That's all I'm saying.
Would that be at a permit process?
It would be coming back to one more meeting and showing us what you're gonna do, what you're gonna put on the slab. Doesn't stop you from going forward on construction.
It would
You can
still,
go forward on everything you need to do. We just wanna see what it is you're gonna put on those slabs.
so, assuming, again, the board approved what was
And the
recommended
board,
here,
yeah.
it would still pave the way, no pun intended, to move forward with some of the, the initial things that she needs to do, right?
Yeah.
So getting the septic
Doesn't
stuff
hold
sorted, laying out the driveway, just as she's proposed it. When she settles on the design, and she said she's going to do some work to, identify what exactly that'll look like, she would just come like others have come before you, and she would present that to you. It isn't, what I'm hearing is not a bar to having another public hearing or another site plan of operation. It's not a substantial modification in that regard. It's just that she comes and provides you the design that she's looking at.
So once she settles, she'll have to send me an email, and then once I receive it, I will get her on the next meeting that she's available that we have.
That seems fair. I'm in on that one.
Do we want to, take a vote on the motion that's on the floor right now?
I think you have to.
Yep. Okay,
Well, just noting that the motion that's on the floor does not have that requirement.
correct.
But, well, so if you prove it, then it moves forward.
Correct. Does everyone understand what the motion is currently in front of us?
Mm-hmm.
Everything but seeing the plans for the homes.
Correct. Okay, so with that known, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No.
Aye.
Aye. Motion fails to carry. Do I have another motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the site plan and plan of operation
Not approved, to recommend.
to recommend to the town board with the condition that the business, I don't wanna say she, comes back to the plan commission to show us final design of these container homes with the 150-foot paving with ingress and egress of the parking lot.
Screen.
Well, that, we can do that when she shows us, so we can approve it there.
And dust-free gravel. And dust-free gravel.
Oh. And dust-free gravel, which is pretty impossible, so I don't know why that's going there in August, it's gonna be dusty.
It's to mitigate any issues with the adjacent properties, not really on her property.
It's the operation of dust-free.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion's made by Tom, seconded by Paul, to recommend to the town board the approval of the site plan of operation for Scenic Valley Properties LLC DBA Crate and Pines for construction and operation of a container and small home resort development on a 10-acre portion of property within Rome Town Center, incorporating the findings of fact with the additional conditions that the applicant return to the commission with the final specs on.
Building plans,
Pardon me?
final building plan.
Final building plans of the containers or the prefabs that are gonna be put on the property, and that there would be 100-foot paved portion.
150.
What'd I say, 100? 150 off of Geneva Trail, and 150-foot portion off of Anawa Court, and the parking lot off of Geneva Trail to be paved. The remainder of the driveway is to be completed with dust-free gravel.
You keeping the screening of the decks and porches in there or not?
No, they thought that perhaps that would be for the next time.
Still a requirement.
Any other discussion?
Yes. I would just like to add that, at CDA, town board meetings, and in other meetings, plan commission meetings, it's been brought to our attention on numerous occasions by 2 town board members how unfriendly we have been to businesses. And this is just another situation of that being, we have made so many exceptions and done so many things to be friendly to businesses. And it's been unbelievable how we've treated this woman.
I disagree with you 100% on that.
Well, you can,
I
but
think
that,
you treated
I'm
her very
entitled,
fairly.
I'm entitled to
Okay,
my
you are,
opinion.
Okay.
Just like
I would-
others are, and I have my right to state why
I would
I'm
agree
going
with,
to vote to no.
I would agree with Paul on that.
You have a right to your opinion and I have a right to mine.
Okay, did, all in favor of, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries.
Next agenda items, dates.
Oh, yeah, I'm not done, aren't I, am I?
Yes, a few things.
Okay, sorry, cleanup.
Yep. Alright, so next agenda item, well, first and foremost, we'll have the Geneva apartments, they'll need to come back with that updated plan, so you guys can go through their site plan of operation.
I would like a clear report on why that was not taken care of last winter and why we don't have a report from the former building inspector, zoning administrator.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to get that, I can try my hardest, but I don't know how possible it would be for me to do that. So I'm sorry.
No, but thank you.
I'll try my hardest, but I can't make any promises. So on top of that, we have one.
Why do we need that though, Lori? Why do we need her to do that for now? for
Because
this?
I don't I'm very confused by that whole thing, I really am. I don't understand why he built without building permits and that map, I'm confused by that map.
He had building permits, he just didn't have an updated site plan. The permits, he did not build without permits. He got issued all of his permits.
It looks like the permits he got in our the permits he got were just recently issued.
Yeah, there was an issue. Well, there was a little bit of an issue with building without permits that got dealt with.
That's why I'm confused.
So that's what it's really a messy situation that I kind of got thrown into because there was building without permits. There's things being built that weren't on the site plan. So I mean, I think other than the fact that he needed to come back to Plan Commission, they try to get him to follow as many ordinances as they could.
So there were violations. He
There
built
were.
without permits. He just got the permits. That's what I'm confused by, but.
By our having her go and do this whole routine, is it going to affect our decision when he comes
How
back?
can we approve? That's what I'm confused by.
Right, so I'm wondering why make her go through all of that if there's
Will it
nothing.
help us or no? Can it help us?
It's probably not as critical as having a accurate map to.
Okay,
to
all right.
review that.
Whatever's gonna help us with our decision.
So if I have time, I can go through and look through the files and see what I can pull from what Dan said. I don't know if I'll include in the packet. I might have it as just handouts for you guys because depends on my free time I have, honestly.
Right.
So, but I can, if that's something you'd like, I can get some history for you just to see what the timeline is because I think you do have a little bit of a point because there is things that were built after his previous site plan that are now on his new site plan that are really confusing. I do understand that point.
Yeah, I'm confused because this map, where did this map come from then? All right.
Okay.
All right,
So-
thank you. That's what I'm trying to understand, what we gotta approve. I don't even know what to approve. Okay.
Yep, okay, and then there will also be a comprehensive plan amendment, and rezone. It will just be from forestry to rural residential is what it's looking like. On top of that, I guess if this is something you guys might wanna discuss a little bit, but codifying the short-term rental conditional use permit process.
I'd really like, we asked for this to be on the, I know with our long agenda, I would really like to see this on this next agenda because this, tonight got really long again. And I think there's a real appetite for this to go over to staff now. And so, I mean, we've been asking for this for over a year and there was a real appetite at the last meeting to get this turned over. So we're,
My only question, because it's a relatively easy thing to reflect in the zoning ordinance, but I don't typically propose that without getting direction. Is it safe to just give you in your packets, the current ordinance requirements? You can give direction then to bring it back at the next meeting. We can have that public hearing if you're going to amend the zoning ordinance. But I won't prepare amendments until I get the direction from you all. But we'll have it on the next agenda.
well, I'd like to know what our zoning administrator and the staff wants. They've pretty much talked about it, have you not, to make sure?
Yeah, it would make it easier, because I mean, realistically, having it as a conditional use doesn't necessarily make sense when there's so many of them. It doesn't feel very conditional. So codifying that, I mean, to me, is sensical, especially after hearing what the plan developer Sam Schultz also said about it. So
Right, going back to what Sam had suggested, Nick.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't, no question there. My question is, then do you want me to come with zoning ordinance markups, assuming that this is what you're going to do? Or would you rather discuss this and give me direction? That's all I'm asking.
I think that maybe we discuss it and give him direction instead of wasting his legal time and then we throw him a curveball at it. My other question then is, if this is not a conditional use permit, if we do change the ordinance, then
What is it?
no properties within 200 feet get notified, she just approved these all in-house.
it would depend, because I think we could have it set so I still notify them, and if we have a lot of complaints, we could do a public hearing. I know that was something.
Maybe not a public hearing,
Or,
but
yeah.
what we have in other situations, we do have a process that allows for the zoning administrator to approve something unless, for some reason, in their discretion, they refer it. And so I think we'd probably do something similar. Again, all the more reason why I think we probably should have a discussion and give me direction before I
Which-
start drafting.
Yeah.
I mean, the removing conditional use permit is very easy. I can delete that in the ordinance. But.
With a vote,
But
still.
there may be, you know, some other things, for example, that we might put into, that would probably be reflected in 234, but it can be a recommendation from this body to help kind of reinforce the decision to remove the conditional use permit, if that makes sense.
Because then theoretically, tonight, we would have had 3 businesses before us and everything else would have been done, let's just say, by you, but over there. Which I do feel that this board's job is to do development, not
And planning.
in planning and not
We could have spent more time with Amy.
short-term
and
rentals
had
than we
more
did anything else
constructive
tonight.
Work done.
And you have sat on this for a while. How, they all get approved. So just let her approve them.
We don't have a choice.
You
We don't have a
cannot-
choice.
Unless there's a really valid reason, I don't
And
think you
if
can turn.
she's
it down.
concerned with one, then
And we've even talked about ways of trying to abate it, and the decision we actually came to is the market controls.
the market controls, but I did hear from somebody, there's a town up in Michigan now that just puts so much percentage of the homes, like 4% of the homes or something, so.
4% what, per block?
No, 4%
per-
of the total
And that's in
homes.
Michigan.
So when they
Just
get-
like New York has some
Yep, so
stricter
does
requirements,
California.
and we need to stick to Wisconsin requirements,
Right.
which prohibits our ability to deny short-term renting.
Okay, well, now this is the conversation we're gonna have at next month's meeting, when we have a nice short meeting. What else is on?
But I mean, we,
One,
and we make up questions to ask these people.
What about the 2 issues that came before us on
I move that we refer this to staff as far as this lighting goes in the Lake District. I think we keep making,
the lighting, and I think
Exception.
the other one should, as far as
that should be staff
temporary
issues.
canopies? I think the answer's already in the ordinance. There are
The
none.
ordinance already has
There are
them
none.
covered.
yep, for both of them. I have
We were clear on
explained.
that when we revised it.
Yep, I explained to both parties that both their things are reflected in ordinances. The one guy got hung up on the fact that I said they were canopies because they're huge. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures. They literally look like giant tents. But once he told me they're sheds, I informed them that he still can't have them because they're considered
Still,
sheds.
we had a long, lengthy discussion about that.
She's got
on
pictures,
that
there were
subcommittee,
pictures we
and
put in the
decided not to
ordinance.
allow them in any reason, shape, form,
Yep.
including camping.
Yep,
It's that
so,
simple.
okay, perfect.
We
And I
need
can,
to go there.
And the lighting one, I didn't hear the result of that. Did
I
you
move
men-
that we put that back to her, to staff as well, because there's already, no, it's beneficial, you know, I mean, to allow staff to handle that, it's in code as well, and making a special exception for the Lake District all the time, all the town has, you know, it's something that she can enforce, and if there's a concern, let
Yeah, if it's
zoning
not
deal with it.
enforceable, it's not enforceable.
It's not
I think that was the answer, and he didn't like
yeah.
it.
And also with that complaint, it wouldn't matter anyways, because even if you guys did choose to change ordinance, that person would be a non-conforming lot, and that light could stay there bothering that individual, so.
Forever.
That wouldn't really make a difference that way.
But what you're really talking about is light pollution, like noise pollution and that, and we have other ordinances that control there. And I'm not sure what exactly a zoning ordinance requirement would have for a lot that's going to oversee, I mean, how are you gonna measure it? It's probably more appropriate in our other ordinances that do control certain nuisance situations.
That'd also be a lot of money, because I can't come here at 8 PM in the dark to see it, and then we'd have to have an
Seems like
officer look at it.
More of a neighborly issue, like the guy put up a new light, not realizing it affected his neighbor so much, maybe.
It's those LED light bulbs that are so, they're
mean-
putting them on vehicles now where they blind you like 3
mean-
miles away.
When the electrician did one of our buildings, he had a big thing like that, and I pulled in I'm like, oh, I don't like that, I got rid of it and just put up a smaller one. I mean, some people don't realize how bright they are.
Alright, and my last agenda item is we have one more site plan and plan of operation for next month.
Where's that, where?
We
It
do.
would be for Mr. Tom Gabriel, for a garage, because there was a variance passed for that property.
Well, that's gonna require a lot of discussion. Okay, our next meeting at that, I'm sorry, October 8th at 4 PM, I believe. Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
7:12.